Imagine possessing the profound capability to effortlessly guide decisions, cultivate authentic connections, and expertly navigate any given situation with an unwavering sense of confidence. This remarkable aptitude is not merely the stuff of fantasy or some arcane magic. Rather, it represents the pinnacle of skill in the intricate art of persuasion. Within the pages of this exhaustive audiobook, you are poised to uncover a treasure trove of profound principles and immediately actionable techniques, strategies that have been meticulously refined and consistently employed by the world's foremost negotiators, the most inspirational and effective leaders, and countless successful individuals who consistently achieve their objectives while simultaneously nurturing robust, enduring relationships. Prepare yourself for a transformative journey that will fundamentally reshape your innate ability to influence, to persuade, and to triumph across every facet of your life. Whether your ambition is to ascend the ranks of your chosen career, to amplify your social influence within your communities, or to simply attain more favorable outcomes in your personal relationships, this audiobook stands as your definitive, indispensable guide to evolving into an authentic powerhouse of persuasion. Our exploration extends far beyond the realm of generalized advice. We are committed to plunging deeply into the sophisticated strata of advanced strategies and highly practical techniques that will furnish you with precise tools necessary to persuade with surgical precision, unshakable confidence, and an unblemished commitment to authenticity. You will master the intricate craft of formulating messages that resonate profoundly with your audience's deepest needs and aspirations, unravel the scientific underpinnings of cultivating unwavering trust, and assimilate proven methodologies for influencing critical decision-makers across any conceivable scenario. From the high-stakes environment of the corporate boardroom to the relaxed intimacy of casual conversation, what truly elevates this audiobook above the multitude of others is its unyielding dedication to the principles of ethical persuasion. Our primary focus is not exclusively on pursuit of your desired outcomes, but rather on the overarching objective of achieving results that genuinely benefit all parties involved. Persuasion, in its most refined and virtuous form, is unequivocally not a veiled guise for manipulation. Instead, it embodies the art of identifying win-win solutions, fostering profound rapport, and meticulously co-creating outcomes that leave every participant feeling satisfied, respected, and genuinely valued. The steadfast commitment to ethical influence forms the bedrock of sustainable, long-term success and cultivates relationships that are built to last. You'll find no quick fixes, no deceptive shortcuts, and certainly no disreputable tactics within these pages. Only powerful, empirically validated strategies that consistently yield positive results in the real world. Throughout this truly transformative odyssey, you'll be immersed in compelling real-world narratives, gain invaluable insights from meticulously documented case studies, and engage in practical, hands-on exercises specifically designed to deeply embed these strategies into the very fabric of your daily interactions. These are not merely abstract academic theories to be pondered in isolation. They are pragmatic lessons honed through extensive field application, rigorously tested for efficacy, and immediately applicable to your unique circumstances. You will draw inspiration from a diverse array of real-life examples, distill wisdom from the triumphs and occasional missteps of others, and actively apply these proven techniques, enabling you to witness tangible, measurable results without delay. By the culmination of this audiobook, you will transcend a mere conceptual understanding of the principles of persuasion. You will achieve a profound mastery of them. Prepare to unlock your innate capacity to influence anyone at any given moment and in virtually any setting, thereby empowering you to meticulously sculpt the life you have always dared to envision. Stay engaged. You are on the cusp of embarking upon an intellectual adventure that will irrevocably alter your fundamental approach to communication, negotiation, and the pursuit of success across every dimension of your existence. Are you ready to commence this journey? Let us begin our deep dive. Chapter 1. The Psychology of Influence. Imagine walking into any given room, settling comfortably at any negotiation table, or initiating a conversation with any individual, and possessing the remarkable inherent ability to effortlessly guide their decisions. Picture yourself securing that long-anticipated salary increase, adeptly winning over a notoriously difficult client, or even deepening the intricate bonds within your personal relationships, all simply because you possess a profound comprehension of human cognition and an intuitive grasp of what fundamentally propels human actions. Such an ability might initially sound akin to sorcery, a mystical power beyond ordinary reach, but I assure you it is not. It is, in essence, a finely honed skill, and much like any other complex skill, it can be diligently learned, meticulously practiced, and ultimately, profoundly mastered. This transformative exploration into the domain of persuasion is decidedly not about employing deceptive tricks or resorting to manipulative machinations. Instead, it represents a journey of uncovering the profound, foundational principles that consistently influence and subtly shape human behavior. It is about establishing authentic, genuine connections while simultaneously guiding others toward outcomes that are mutually beneficial for all parties involved. In this foundational first chapter, our focus will be on delving deeply into the intricate psychology of influence, the indispensable bedrock upon which every effective persuasive skill is meticulously constructed. By the conclusion of this chapter, you will not only gain a crystal clear understanding of the underlying reasons why people consistently say yes, but also acquire the practical knowledge of how to ethically and effectively align their intrinsic needs and aspirations with your overarching goals. The science of why people say yes every single day. We are confronted with an overwhelming multitude of decisions, both mundane and momentous. These range from the seemingly trivial choice of what to eat for dinner to the more significant considerations of whom to entrust with our confidences, what products to purchase, and where to judiciously invest our finite time and energy. Behind each of these choices, regardless of their apparent scale, lies a predictable and remarkably consistent set of psychological principles that subtly yet powerfully guide our behavior. If you have ever instinctively accepted a friend request on a social media platform, impulsively clicked on a limited time offer advertisement, or felt an undeniable, almost involuntary, compulsion to return a favor, then you have, without a doubt, experienced profound science of influence firsthand. Let us embark on a detailed dissection of these fundamental principles, commencing with the 6 pivotal forces that were brilliantly identified and extensively researched by eminent social psychologists, most notably Dr. Robert Cialdini. His groundbreaking and highly influential research has irrevocably shaped our contemporary understanding of the intricate dynamics of persuasion and compliance. 1. Reciprocity. Human beings are profoundly hardwired to instinctively respond to kindness with kindness and to repay goodwill with goodwill. If someone performs an act of service for us, extends a gesture of generosity, or provides us with something of value, we experience an innate, often subconscious, obligation to return that favor in some form. This deeply ingrained principle is precisely why strategies, such as offering free samples, are remarkably effective in commercial contexts. It becomes inherently difficult for us to decline a subsequent request or offer when we have already graciously received something, even if it is seemingly insignificant, for free. The psychological burden of indebtedness encourages us to reciprocate. For instance, if a colleague goes out of their way to assist you with a challenging report, you're far more inclined to readily offer your help when they, in turn, require assistance on their own project, thereby creating a reciprocal bond of mutual support. 2. Scarcity. People inherently assign a higher value to what is perceived as rare, exclusive, or limited in availability. When something is presented as scarce, our desire for it naturally intensifies exponentially. Consider the pervasive effectiveness of phrases commonly employed in marketing, such as only 2 left in stock, order now, or limited time offer, deal expires at midnight. The deliberate creation of scarcity immediately generates a powerful sense of urgency, compelling us to act decisively and often impulsively to acquire the item or secure the opportunity before it is irrevocably gone. This principle plays powerfully on our primal fear of missing out on a valuable or unique opportunity. For example, an exclusive invitation to a private event, open only to a select few, often feels far more appealing and desirable than a universally accessible public gathering, precisely because of its perceived rarity and the implicit limitation on access. 3. Authority. We possess an intrinsic tendency to trust, respect, and defer to individuals who we perceive as legitimate experts or established authorities. Whether it is a medical doctor in a crisp white coat confidently dispensing health advice, a seasoned financial advisor showcasing impressive credentials and a verifiable track record of success, or a distinguished academic citing extensive peer-reviewed research, figures of authority wield immense persuasive power. The act of strategically aligning yourself with recognized authority, whether by genuinely demonstrating your own profound expertise in a subject or by subtly associating yourself with established credible sources, instantly cultivates a deep sense of trust and credibility in the minds of others. For instance, a product endorsement from a globally renowned scientist in their field carries significantly more weight and is more likely to be believed in the opinion of an average consumer, purely due to perceived authority of the source. 4. Consistency. We are psychologically driven to strive for internal harmony and to act in a manner that remains consistent with our past commitments, previously stated beliefs, and established self-image. This deeply ingrained need for consistency influences our future actions. When an individual voluntarily agrees to a relatively small initial request, they are demonstrably more likely to subsequently comply with a larger, more significant request later on. This subsequent compliance is often driven by an unconscious desire to maintain internal consistency with their prior actions and publicly declared positions. This phenomenon is often referred to as the foot in the door technique. For example, someone who has publicly pledged to support a specific environmental cause is far more inclined to make a financial donation when directly asked, as their action aligns directly with their publicly declared commitment and self-perception as an environmental advocate. 5. Social proof. In situations of uncertainty, ambiguity, or when we are unsure how to act, we instinctively look to the actions and behaviors of others to guide our own decisions. If a particular product boasts overwhelmingly positive customer reviews and high ratings, or if a restaurant is visibly bustling with a vibrant crowd of satisfied patrons, we are psychologically more likely to trust in its inherent value, quality, and desirability. This pervasive principle is precisely why the strategic display of testimonials, customer reviews, user ratings, and endorsements from large groups of people is extraordinarily powerful in influencing consumer behavior. The collective affirmation of others serves as compelling evidence of validity and acceptance. Think of how a trending video on social media quickly accumulates millions of views. Its immense popularity itself acts as a powerful form of social proof, drawing in even more viewers who want to see what everyone else is watching. 6. Liking. We are demonstrably more inclined to say yes to individuals whom we genuinely like, admire, or feel a personal connection with. Factors such as discovering shared interests, receiving sincere and well-deserved compliments, engaging in friendly conversation, and cultivating a sense of familiarity or rapport all play a significant and interconnected role in building likability. This increased likability, in turn, directly translates into enhanced persuasive influence. People are simply more receptive and open to the messages and requests of those they perceive as friends, allies, or simply individuals they find agreeable and trustworthy. For example, if a salesperson takes the time to genuinely connect with you on a personal level, perhaps by discussing a shared hobby or a common life experience before delving into their sales pitch, you are far more inclined to listen openly and consider their offer purely because you have developed a subtle yet powerful sense of personal liking for them. Turning principles into practical persuasion, understanding these fundamental psychological principles is, in reality, only one half of the entire battle in mastering persuasion. To truly become a masterful practitioner of influence, you must possess the refined ability to apply them skillfully, ethically, and effectively within diverse real-world scenarios. Let us meticulously walk through a few concrete, practical examples to illustrate their application in everyday interactions and strategic contexts. Reciprocity in action. Imagine you are actively engaged in negotiating a crucial business deal with a potential partner. A highly effective and often overlooked strategy is to initiate the interaction by thoughtfully offering something of genuine value to the other party, even if it is initially perceived as small or symbolic. This could manifest as providing a piece of insightful, unsolicited advice that addresses a challenge they've mentioned, sharing a helpful and relevant industry resource or market analysis, or simply dedicating your undivided time and attention to truly listen to their concerns and understand their perspective without interruption. By voluntarily giving first, you strategically cultivate a subtle yet potent sense of obligation within the other person, which significantly increases the inherent likelihood of achieving a favorable outcome for both parties involved. This initial act of generosity establishes a positive and cooperative tone from the outset, making them more open to your subsequent proposals. Creating scarcity. If you are actively engaged in selling a product, offering a service, or proposing a unique opportunity subtly but effectively emphasize its exclusive nature or limited availability. Employ carefully chosen phrases such as enrollment is capped at 50 participants to ensure personalized attention, or spots for this exclusive masterclass are filling quickly and are very limited, don't miss out. The goal is to strategically ignite a powerful sense of urgency within your target audience, all without appearing overtly pushy or manipulative. The aim is to highlight a genuine constraint that makes the opportunity more valuable and desirable due to its limited access. For instance, announcing that a special consulting slot is only available for the next 48 hours can prompt a quicker decision from a hesitant client who values your expertise. Projecting authority. In various professional settings, deploying subtle nonverbal signals and strategic verbal cues can effectively establish and reinforce your inherent authority. This might involve adopting a sharp, professional dress code that signals competence, confidently sharing pertinent expertise gained from years of experience in a particular domain, or judiciously referencing highly credible sources and established research within your field to back your claims. The overarching key here is to exude an undeniable sense of confidence and competence, but crucially, to do so without any hint of arrogance or condescension. Your calm and measured demeanor, combined with insightful and well-substantiated contributions, can speak volumes about your authoritative presence and command respect. Leveraging social proof. If you're passionately pitching an innovative idea or concept to a group, strategically highlight its existing popularity, widespread acceptance, or the significant support it has already garnered from influential figures or successful entities. For example, framing your argument with statements like, "This exact strategy has been successfully implemented and rigorously validated by leading companies within our industry, yielding remarkable double-digit growth and increased market share," carries substantially more weight and persuasive power than merely stating, "I personally believe this approach could work quite effectively." The endorsement of others, especially those your audience respects or identifies with, provides powerful validation and reduces perceived risk. Ethical influence. The difference between persuasion and manipulation herein lies the truly critical distinction that defines effective and sustainable influence. Genuine persuasion is a constructive process that meticulously builds and strengthens trust, while manipulation, by its very nature, systematically erodes and ultimately destroys it. True, authentic persuasion inherently focuses on harmonizing the other person's intrinsic needs, desires, and goals with your own, ultimately culminating in the creation of a mutually beneficial, win-win scenario for everyone involved. This collaborative approach fosters long-term relationships and mutual respect. Manipulation, on the other hand, operates from an entirely different and morally questionable premise. It cynically exploits the vulnerabilities, insecurities, and unwitting biases of others solely for the purpose of achieving personal, often selfish gain, with little to no regard for the other party's well-being or long-term interests. It is about control and exploitation, not collaboration. To steadfastly ensure that your persuasive efforts consistently remain within the bounds of ethical conduct and integrity, always adhere to the following crucial guidelines. Be transparent about your intentions. Clearly and honestly communicate your objectives and what you genuinely hope to achieve from the interaction. Avoid hidden agendas, covert motives, or any form of deception. When people understand your purpose and perceive your sincerity, they are far more likely to trust you and be receptive to your message. Transparency builds credibility. Avoid false claims or exaggerated promises. Never misrepresent facts, embellish benefits beyond what is true, or make promises you cannot realistically keep or intend to fulfill. Your credibility is your single most valuable asset in the realm of influence, and it can be irrevocably shattered by a single untruth, however minor it may seem. Honesty is the foundation of lasting trust. Aim for mutual benefit in every interaction. Actively seek outcomes where all parties involved perceive a tangible gain, a significant advantage, or a positive resolution. This win-win mindset fosters genuine collaboration and ensures that relationships are strengthened, rather than strained or damaged, by the persuasive process. This often means actively listening to understand the other person's needs, and then creatively finding solutions that address both sets of interests, expanding the perceived value for everyone. When you consistently operate with unwavering integrity and a genuine commitment to fairness, People will not only place their trust in you in the immediate moment of interaction, but will also continue to hold you in high regard, respect your judgment, and enthusiastically support you over the long term. This foundation of trust is indispensable for building enduring influence and achieving sustained success. Exercises to strengthen your influence now that you are comprehensively equipped with these foundational principles of psychological influence. It is unequivocally time to put them into immediate practice. Consistent application is key to mastery. Here are a few practical exercises designed to help you begin sharpening your nascent skills and cultivating your persuasive abilities in everyday scenarios. 1. The Reciprocity Challenge. Over the course of the upcoming week, make a deliberate and conscious effort to intentionally provide genuine value to at least 3 different individuals each day, without harboring any explicit expectation of receiving anything in return. This could involve offering a helpful piece of advice or insight relevant to their work, sharing a useful article or tool that addresses a problem they've mentioned, giving a sincere and specific compliment about their efforts or character, or simply lending a truly listening ear during a difficult time. At the end of the week, take time to carefully notice how frequently people spontaneously reciprocate your gestures, even if it's in small, unexpected ways. This exercise will help you internalize the profound power of giving first and experiencing the natural human inclination to return kindness. 2. Social proof experiment. The next time you find yourself recommending a product, advocating for an idea, or suggesting a particular course of action, make a conscious effort to specifically mention others who have already benefited from or endorsed it. For instance, instead of simply saying, "This new project management software is really effective, try," many of my colleagues in the sales department found this new project management software incredibly useful and significantly helped them streamline their client outreach by 20%. Diligently track how this seemingly simple addition impacts the overall response you receive. Does it increase interest? Does it lead to more acceptance? Does it reduce skepticism? Observe the difference in people's receptiveness. 3. Authority audit. Dedicate some reflective time to critically assess how you currently present yourself, both verbally and non-verbally, in various professional and personal contexts. Are there subtle yet impactful ways in which you could genuinely enhance or more clearly project your inherent authority and expertise? Consider aspects such as refining your communication style to be more concise, confident, and direct, strategically sharing relevant credentials or certifications when appropriate, citing your extensive experience and expertise through brief, relevant anecdotes, or refining your professional appearance to align with perceptions of competence. Remember, true authority is demonstrated through actions and proven knowledge, not merely asserted through words. It could be as simple as making sure your LinkedIn profile is updated with your accomplishments or ensuring your presentation slides are professionally designed and well-researched. The principles of influence are far from being merely abstract theoretical concepts. They are, in essence, powerful, tangible tools that you can effectively employ every single day to meticulously forge meaningful connections, strategically guide decisions, and consistently achieve your most ambitious goals. As you progressively begin to recognize the pervasive presence of these fundamental forces within your own life and interactions, you will undoubtedly start to perceive myriad opportunities for exercising ethical and impactful influence everywhere you look, transforming everyday situations into chances for positive outcomes. In the subsequent chapter, we will delve even more profoundly into the sophisticated art of building rapport, which stands as one of the most utterly essential skills for establishing immediate and enduring trust, thereby laying the indispensable groundwork for all subsequent successful persuasion. Together, we will meticulously unlock the guarded secrets to genuinely connecting with anyone at any time and in virtually any location. Stay with me as we steadfastly continue this enlightening journey. The transformation of your persuasive abilities has only just begun. Chapter 2. Building rapport like a pro. Picture this vivid scenario. You confidently walk into a bustling room filled entirely with strangers, a place where you initially know no one. Yet, within a mere few minutes, you find yourself effortlessly chatting with various individuals, exchanging genuine smiles, and forging connections that feel so immediate, deeply authentic, and effortlessly natural that the people around you genuinely feel as though they've known you for a significant period, perhaps even forever. Suddenly, Metaphorical doors begin to open wide. Unforeseen opportunities gracefully arise from unexpected corners, and conversations subtly, yet decisively, shift in your favor. This remarkable transformation occurs not because you engage in any manipulative tactics or employed any deceptive ploys, but purely because you have unequivocally mastered the intricate and invaluable art of building rapport. Rapport is, without a doubt, the fundamental bedrock, the indispensable foundation of every truly meaningful, productive, and impactful interaction. Without its profound presence, even the most meticulously crafted arguments, the most logically flawless pitches, and the most brilliantly executed persuasion techniques will inevitably fall flat, rendering them largely ineffective and devoid of true power. Conversely, when you possess the mastery of rapport, you quite literally become magnetic. People are naturally drawn to your presence. They instinctively trust your judgment, genuinely listen with an open mind to your perspectives, and, perhaps most importantly, intrinsically desire to assist you in your endeavors, actively seeking ways to support your goals. In this transformative chapter, we will meticulously explore precisely how to forge instant, deeply resonant, and lasting connections with anyone you encounter, regardless of whether they are a new colleague you've just met, a prospective client you are hoping to win over, or even a complete stranger you meet fleetingly in passing. You will acquire proven techniques to swiftly cultivate unwavering trust, gain access to powerful tools that enable you to understand individuals on a profoundly deeper psychological and emotional level, and learn sophisticated strategies to deftly navigate even the most inherently challenging, emotionally charged, or difficult interactions with an almost effortless ease and remarkable grace. The science of connection. Why some people instantly click? Why is it that some individuals appear to instantly click and establish an immediate, palpable bond with others, experiencing a natural flow in conversation, while others consistently struggle, encountering awkward silences and failing to make any significant, lasting impression at all? The profound answer lies deeply embedded in the very way we are intrinsically wired as human beings. We possess an innate and powerful craving for genuine connection. We are, by our fundamental biological and social nature, intensely social creatures. We are naturally and irresistibly drawn to those who possess the remarkable ability to make us feel profoundly understood, genuinely valued, and unequivocally safe within their presence. This sense of psychological safety and validation is paramount for connection. At the very heart of authentic rapport lies a deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful truth, often paraphrased as, people intrinsically do not care how much factual knowledge you possess, how intelligent you are, or how many credentials you hold, until they unequivocally know how much you genuinely care about them as individuals. This essential truth implies a sincere, authentic interest in the lives, well-being, and perspectives of others, when synergistically coupled with a keen knack for subtly mirroring their emotions, energy levels, and communication patterns, creates an extraordinarily powerful and resilient bond. This combination signals empathy and similarity. Extensive research conducted by eminent psychologists and neuroscientists has consistently revealed that deep, resonant rapport profoundly relies upon three interconnected key ingredients, which act in concert to foster connection. 1. Mutual attention. For rapport to genuinely flourish, both parties actively engaged in the interaction must feel unequivocally heard, acknowledged, and truly seen by the other. This involves active, focused presence and a shared concentration on the conversation at hand. It's about giving your full, undivided attention, making the other person feel like the most important person in the room at that moment, conveying that their words and presence matter to you. 2. Positivity. The prevailing emotional tone of the interaction must be consistently warm, inherently affirming, and genuinely enjoyable for all involved. A positive emotional climate fosters openness, receptivity, and comfort. This doesn't necessarily mean being overtly cheerful or jovial if the situation is serious, but rather maintaining a constructive, supportive, non-judgmental, and approachable demeanor that encourages open communication and positive emotional exchange. 3. Coordination. There must exist a natural, almost subconscious rhythm or organic flow to conversation, where turns are taken smoothly and communication feels harmonious. This harmonious coordination is very often effectively achieved through the subtle, yet powerful, psychological technique of mirroring, where one person subtly matches the other's nonverbal cues. When these three vital elements are harmoniously in place, trust, connection, and ultimately rapport will invariably flourish and deepen, creating a strong foundation for influence. How to build trust quickly and authentically building genuine rapport is fundamentally not about adopting a facade or pretending to be someone you are inherently not, nor is it about employing manipulative tricks. Rather, it is a profound and active process of empathetically tuning into the unique world, perspective, and emotional landscape of the other person, and intentionally cultivating a truly genuine, heartfelt connection based on understanding and respect. Here's a detailed, step-by-step guide on precisely how you can master this vital skill and build trust rapidly. Step 1. Master the art of active listening. The vast majority of people, unfortunately, listen with a primary intention to formulate their own response, to craft their next statement, or to wait for their turn to speak, rather than with a sincere desire to truly understand the core message, underlying emotions, and unspoken needs that the other person is communicating. This fundamental misconception is precisely where they inadvertently go awry in their interpersonal interactions and fail to connect deeply. True, profound listening is a disciplined practice of being completely and utterly present, fully absorbing every nuance of what the other person is articulating, and then skillfully reflecting it back to them in a manner that unequivocally demonstrates your genuine care, deep comprehension, and empathetic engagement. Eliminate distractions. Before initiating any meaningful conversation, consciously remove all potential external and internal distractions. This means physically putting your smartphone away or on silent, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, minimizing background noise, and mentally clearing your mind of other preoccupations. Make sustained eye contact, not in an intimidating way, but in a way that conveys focus, respect, and engagement. These actions physically and psychologically signal that the conversation you are about to have, or are currently having, truly matters to you and holds significant importance, making the other person feel valued. Listen for emotions, not just words. Go beyond the literal words being spoken. Pay meticulous attention to the subtle cues embedded within their tone of voice, the specific inflections, their overall body language, observing gestures, posture, facial expressions, and microexpressions, and the underlying, often unarticulated, feelings or motivations that are driving their verbal expressions. What is the emotional subtext of their message? Are they feeling anxious, excited, frustrated, hopeful, or concerned? Recognizing these emotional states allows you to respond more appropriately and empathetically. Validate their perspective. Once you listen intently and absorb both the verbal and nonverbal cues, verbally confirm your understanding of their feelings and perspective. Employ phrases that demonstrate empathy and validation, such as, "I can genuinely see why you would feel that way. That makes perfect sense given the circumstances and what you've described," or "That sounds like a truly challenging and difficult situation to navigate, and your feelings about it are completely understandable." Validation does not necessarily mean agreement with their viewpoint or action. Rather, it unequivocally signifies that you acknowledge, respect, and comprehend their emotional state and point of view. This powerful act of validation significantly builds trust and fosters a deep sense of empathy between you and the other person, lowering their defenses. Step 2. Find common ground is a fundamental and well-established aspect of human psychology that we are naturally and instinctively drawn to individuals who are perceived as being similar to ourselves, whether in terms of background, interests, values, or experiences. Discovering shared interests, aligning on core values, or identifying common past experiences immediately creates an instant, powerful bond and a sense of camaraderie, fostering a feeling of us versus them. Ask open-ended questions. To uncover these commonalities, ask broad, non-restrictive questions that invite more than a simple yes or no answer, encouraging them to elaborate and share more themselves. Examples include, what do you genuinely enjoy most about your current work or chosen profession? Or what has been particularly exciting or perhaps challenging for you lately outside of work? These types of questions encourage the other person to share more about their passions, experiences, and perspectives, revealing potential areas of commonality. Look for subtle clues. Be highly observant of implicit hints, subtle indicators, and casual mentions in their environment or conversation. Do they speak with immense passion about a particular hobby they pursue outside of work? Do they frequently mention their family, suggesting it is a central and important part of their life? Are there specific books, movies, sports teams, or travel destinations they allude to? These details can reveal shared interests. Dive into what lights them up. Once you identify a potential area of shared interest or passion, delve deeper into it. Show genuine curiosity and enthusiasm for their topic, asking follow-up questions that demonstrate your engagement. People love to talk about what excites them, and by giving them that opportunity and showing authentic interest, you deepen the connection. This shared enthusiasm for a topic creates a powerful, positive emotional resonance that strengthens rapport, making them feel understood and appreciated. Step 3. Mirror their energy. And style mirroring is a sophisticated psychological technique where you subtly and often unconsciously match the other person's verbal tone, their overall body language, and their pace of speech. When executed skillfully, subtly, and naturally, mirroring creates a profound sense of familiarity, comfort, and subconscious connection. It signals, we are alike, we are on the same wavelength, which makes the other person feel more at ease and comfortable with you. The art of crafting such energy levels is not inherently
the individual
you're interacting with
voice
is naturally enthusiastic,
nor is it
highly
solely about
energetic,
possessing the most
and
eloquent
speaks with a rapid
vocabulary
pace,
or the most
allow your
complex
own energy
rhetorical
levels
flourishes.
gently, but perceptibly.
Instead,
It is
rise to
fundamentally
meet
about
theirs,
deeply understanding
reflecting
what
their
genuinely
dynamism.
resonates with individuals.
Conversely,
If they're more
meticulously
reserved,
structuring your ideas
speak
in
in
a
a
way that
quieter,
ensures they
slower
stick
tone,
firmly in the
or
memory,
move at a more measured
and delivering
pace,
them with an unwavering
consciously
commitment
adjust your
to
own tone to
authenticity,
be calmer,
conviction,
and more
and
measured,
genuine intent.
and your movements to
By
be
the
less
time you
expansive
conclude this
or
insightful
animated
chapter,
The key is
you will possess the
adaptation
invaluable
to their
knowledge
style,
of how to speak in
not
such a
overt
way that others
imitation,
not
which can
only
seem
attentively
mocking.
hear your words
Mirror
and comprehend
gestures
your logic,
naturally,
but also
subtly
feel
reflect their
undeniable,
physical movements, postures,
compelling
and
urge to
gestures
act
in a
decisively
non-obvious
upon what
way.
you have articulated.
For instance,
driven by both
if they
reason
lean
and
forward
emotion,
slightly
the
during a
psychology
particularly
behind
engaging
memorable
part of the
messages.
conversation.
Why is it that
Gently
certain
lean in
messages
yourself.
implant themselves
If they
deeply
smile
within our
warmly,
consciousness,
respond
leaving
with
a
genuine
lasting
and
imprint,
equally warm
and
smile.
influencing our
This
thoughts
should
and behaviors
always
for an
feel
extended
natural and
period,
unforced,
while
never
never
like
like
an
others
awkward
are swiftly
or
forgotten,
obvious mimicry.
fading into
The
obscurity
goal is to create a
almost as
sense
soon
of
as they're
harmonious
uttered.
physical
The
synchronicity
compelling
that
answer lies
enhances
in comfort
intricate
and
and connection.
fascinating way our
Match
brains
vocal
meticulously
elements.
process.
Pay
Filter
meticulous
and
attention
retain
to their vocal
information
qualities
at
beyond
its very
just
core
pace and volume.
An irresistible
Do they
message
use certain
consistently
recurring
accomplishes
phrases
three
or
crucial
vocal
objectives.
habits? Is
It
their
immediately
voice
grabs
high
and holds
pitched or
attention.
deep? Do they
It
use
masterfully
frequent
creates
pauses for
profound
emotional
emphasis,
resonance?
subtly
And provides
adjusts your own
unequivocal
vocal clarity,
pace, volume,
easy
rhythm,
to grasp,
and
and even
act
calm
upon.
expressions to
One,
align with theirs. Grabbing
this creates
attention
an
with relevance and
auditory
curiosity
resonance
that enhances
The
comfort
human brain is
and
intricately
makes your
wired with a
communication
highly
feel
selective
more in
filtering
tune with
mechanism.
theirs. Constantly
Emotional
sifting through
intelligence.
sensory input,
The secret
designed to
weapon for
efficiently
rapport
filter
emotional
out
intelligence,
extraneous noise,
often
and
abbreviated as
instinctively
EQ,
focus on stimuli
refers
that
to
are perceived
profound
as
ability to
immediately
accurately
relevant,
understand,
genuinely
effectively
intriguing, or
manage, and
inherently
skillfully
novel.
respond to
This
emotions,
inherent
both
neurological
your own intrinsic
predisposition means
emotional
that your
states
opening words
and the complex
the
emotional
very
states
first
of others,
statements you utter or
a
write
high level of emotional
are,
intelligence
without
is absolutely
exaggeration,
essential for building
absolutely
strong,
critical.
sustainable
effectively
rapport,
hook your audience,
because it uniquely
you must
empowers you to
initiate your
adeptly
message with
navigate
something
the
that
complex,
immediately captures their
often nuanced
imagination,
intricacies
intricacies
of
of
social
social
dynamics with
surprising and
remarkable
compelling
ease
fact,
and profound
a
effectiveness.
thought-provoking and
It
provocative
allows you to
question,
anticipate
or
needs,
vivid,
understand
evocative
unspoken
image that
concerns,
powerfully
and
sparks their
respond
innate
appropriately.
curiosity and
How to
desire to
boost
know
your
more.
EQ. For instance,
One, instead of
self-awareness.
uttering generic, uninspired,
Develop a deep,
today,
introspective awareness.
I want
of
to
your
talk
own
about the
emotions
importance of time
as they
management.
manifest during your
A more
interactions
compelling
with
and
others.
attention-grabbing opening
Ask
might be,
yourself during
what
or
if I told you
immediately
there's a
after
scientifically
conversation,
proven way to effortlessly
am I
gain
coming
back
across
10
as
productive
overly
hours
impatient,
each week,
genuinely
allowing
excited,
you to pursue
subtly
your passions,
nervous,
or
or
spend
perhaps
more time with loved
defensive?
ones?
The
All
crucial
without
ability to
sacrificing a
consciously
single
adjust
minute of
your
your
much-needed
much-needed
sleep
and approach
This
based on the
immediately
self-awareness
frames the
is
topic in
invaluable.
terms of highly
Recognizing
desirable,
your own emotional
personally
triggers
relevant
and
outcomes
reactions and
allows
profoundly
you to
piques
control them,
curiosity, ensuring they
creating a
don't
hook.
inadvertently
Two,
derail your persuasive
creating
efforts.
emotional resonance.
Two, human
Empathy.
beings are at their
Actively
fundamental
practice a
core,
profound skill of
primarily
putting
driven by
yourself
emotions,
metaphorically in
not
the
solely
other
by
person's
cold,
shoes,
hard logic or
beyond
objective
just
data.
understanding their words.
While objective facts,
Ask
verifiable
yourself,
data, and analytical
what are they
information
truly
are
feeling in this
undeniably
moment?
important,
What are their
and
underlying
often
needs
necessary
and
what
support
factors
claim?
or experiences
They rarely,
might be
if
contributing
ever,
to these feelings.
possess the
This
intrinsic
deep
power to
empathetic
inspire
inquiry
decisive
allows you to
action on their
anticipate
own,
their needs and
to
concerns,
forge a deep,
enabling
enduring
emotional
emotional
connection
connection
and
with your
respond in a
audience.
way that resonates
You must
directly
skillfully
with their
weave the art of
emotional
storytelling
into
building
a very
a stronger
fabric of your
bond.
message.
3.
Share genuine,
Adaptability.
real-life examples,
Cultivate an
personal
inherent
anecdotes,
flexibility
or
and
compelling
responsiveness
case studies in your approach
Use
to
vivid and
communication
descriptive
and
imagery
interaction that paints a
If,
picture
for
in the mind's
example,
eye.
someone
and
appears
engages the
visibly
senses,
stressed, overwhelmed,
intentionally
or
speak
reserved,
directly to
consciously
universal human
ease into
desires and
conversation
fundamental
gently,
needs,
such
such
as
as
a
a
primal
primal
need
need
for
or
belonging,
validating their
the
current state,
aspiration for
rather than
personal and
immediately
professional
diving
success,
straight into your
the
primary
inherent
agenda
craving for
or
security and
proposal.
stability.
Adjust your
Or the
pace,
deep
tone,
desire
and
for topic to
personal
match
growth
their
and
emotional
fulfillment.
state. For
showing
example,
respect and understanding.
instead of merely providing a
which makes
dry
it more
list of
receptive to your
features
message
and technical
when you do get to it.
specifications of a new
When you
product,
strategically combine the
tell a
powerful
captivating
techniques
narrative of how that product
highly
profoundly
developed sense of
transformed the
emotional
life of a
intelligence,
specific individual,
you quite literally
solving a
transform
deeply
the
felt
type of
problem,
individual,
alleviating a
with whom people
significant
feel
pain
inherently
point,
safe to
and
open
leading to a
confide
positive
in
emotional
and
outcome,
truly vulnerable
like peace
with.
of mind or
You become
newfound
someone they
freedom.
instinctively
The
trust.
emotional journey
Fostering
embedded within
deeper
the story
connections that
is
extend
what
far
truly
beyond
motivates,
superficial interactions,
inspires,
and
action.
pave the way for
3.
genuine influence.
Providing clarity,
Overcoming barriers
ultimately,
to rapport, let's face
a
it.
truly irresistible
Not
message
every
is
single
characterized
interaction
by its
you engage
inherent
in will
simplicity,
proceed flawlessly
its
or
unequivocal
without friction,
clarity,
and its
there will
effortless
inevitably
ease
be
of
instances
comprehension
where personalities
if your
clash,
audience is forced to
where
exert
initial trust is
excessive
slow to
mental effort,
incrementally build,
struggle
or
unduly
where
to
various
understand
external
your central
factors
point,
create palpable
or feels
tension,
overwhelmed by
discomfort,
complexity,
or even
you will,
overt
without
resistance.
question,
In
inevitably
these challenging
lose their
moments,
engagement, their attention,
deliberate
and their
mastery of
receptivity.
rapport-building
This is
techniques
precisely
becomes
where the
even more
strategic
profoundly
power of
crucial
structure
and
becomes
indispensable.
paramount.
A
As
message that
provides the
possesses
tools to
true
navigate
clarity
difficulty
invariably
and
exhibits a
rebuild
well-defined
connection.
beginning.
When you face
a
resistance,
logical and flowing
one,
middle, and a
acknowledge their
satisfying,
perspective.
impactful end.
If another person
It should
appears
feature an
guarded,
engaging
skeptical,
and captivating
or even
hook,
subtly resistant to your
compelling and
ideas
relevant
or
content
proposals,
that holds attention throughout.
strategically begin the
And a
interaction
strong,
by
unequivocal call
unequivocally
to action
validating
that
their
directs the
feelings
audience
and acknowledging their
precisely what to do
concerns.
next.
For instance,
Leaving
you
no
might
room
say,
for ambiguity.
I can sense
a complex
that this
idea
topic
can be made
is
clear by breaking it down
into
into
digestible
and that you have
sequential
some
parts,
reservations
using
or concerns.
simple language.
Please,
employing relatable metaphors.
tell me more about your specific
or drawing
concerns
clear
or
analogies to
underlying
familiar
worries about
concepts.
this.
Making
This
the
approach disarms
unfamiliar
defensiveness by
the
showing
power
you
of
respect
storytelling
their
and
viewpoint
persuasion
and are willing to
storytelling
listen
is far more
rather
than
than
immediately
simply
pushing
pushing
mere
back.
entertainment.
2.
It stands as
Stay
one of the most
calm and
profound and
centered.
powerful,
It is
ancient,
absolutely
and
vital
universally
not to
effective
reciprocate
forms of
hostility,
human communication,
mere defensiveness,
from ancient
or
myths to
allow
modern
yourself to be drawn into an argument.
Stories
even
possess
if
a
the
unique
other person's
ability to
tone is
captivate our
challenging.
attention.
Instead,
Foster deep empathy
consciously
and
model
relatability
among
emphasize
individuals,
energy and emotional
and
tone
render
you
even the most
genuinely wish to
complex
see
or
reflected in
abstract
interaction.
ideas
immeasurably
calm,
easier,
open,
both
understand,
respectful
and
internalize,
solution-oriented,
making them
your
sticky
unwavering
and memorable.
composure and
Wise
clear-headedness
stories
can have a
work.
calming effect on the other
When you
person
thoughtfully tell a story
and prevent the conversation
you are not merely
from escalating
transmitting
raw
negatively.
information
3.
or presenting a series of
Find
facts.
small wins.
You are actively
Even
crafting
seemingly
and
minor
inviting your
points of mutual
audience
agreement,
into a shared,
no matter how
immersive
small
experience.
or insignificant they may appear
Scientific
initially,
research has
can
unequivocally
incrementally
paved the way
demonstrated
for
that
a
stories
deeper,
possess
more
a
substantial
remarkable
connection
ability to
and more
activate the emotional
productive
centers of the
dialogue.
brain,
Focus
such as the
intently on
amygdala and
identifying and
insula,
emphasize
as well as
areas
what you can
associated
mutually
with
agree
sensory
upon,
processing,
as this creates a
making the
positive
experience
foundation
more
for
vivid.
further collaboration.
This heightened
and
neural
builds
activity
momentum,
makes your message, for
significantly
example,
more memorable.
we both agree on
impactful,
an
and
importance of
emotionally
efficiency
resonant
in this process.
Furthermore,
So let's explore how we
stories
can
inherently
achieve that
create
while
a powerful
addressing your
sense of
concerns
connection
about
and
resources.
identification.
Breaking
As people
through cultural
naturally
or
see
personality
aspects of
differences,
themselves, their own
one,
struggles, their
be
aspirations,
curious, not
or
assumptive.
dilemmas reflected in the
Approach
characters,
every
scenarios,
interaction with a
and
genuine
emotional
spirit of
arc
inquiry
meticulously
and
described.
open mind.
This personal
Recognizing
connection
that people from
bypasses
different
purely
backgrounds
logical
or with
defenses
different communication
and
styles
allows your
may
message to
operate
land
differently.
directly in the heart
Ask
and
thoughtful,
subconscious mind,
respectful questions about the
influencing
other
deeply
person's
held
unique
beliefs,
background,
how to craft a
cultural
compelling
nuances,
story,
or individual
every
perspective,
truly great and compelling
without
story
ever making
inherently
premature
follows a
assumptions
fundamental,
or relying on
time-tested
stereotypes.
structure
Show
that resonates
genuine
deeply
interest
with human
in learning about
psychology
them.
and
2.
provides a sense of completeness
Adapt, don't
and
imitate.
resolution. It is crucial
1.
to respect and
The
acknowledge
hook.
cultural or
Begin your
individual
narrative with an
differences
immediate moment
without
tension,
resorting to awkward
intrigue,
overcompensation,
an unexpected
or
twist,
forced
or
imitation.
heightened curiosity
While you
that
should adapt
instantly
your
grabs the
communication
undivided
style.
attention of your
This
audience.
should always feel
This
authentic
opening
to
should
you.
pose an intriguing
Authenticity
question.
in all its
Introduce
forms.
a perplexing dilemma.
Consistently
Present
wins out
startling
performative
fact.
behavior,
Or outline
which
an
can be perceived
unexpected
as
situation
insincere,
that compels the
yourself.
listener to want to
But
know what
just your
happens
approach
next.
to be respectful
This is
and
the entry
effective in their
point
context.
into your narrative
3.
world.
2.
Show humility.
The struggle. If you
Vividly
find yourself
describe a
genuinely
specific
unsure about a
challenge,
specific
obstacle,
cultural
norm,
problem or
particular
conflict
topic,
faced by your
or the
protagonist,
appropriate way to
this
phrase
protagonist could be yourself.
do not hesitate to humbly
a
ask for
specific client
clarification
you assisted,
or openly
or
admit your lack of
universally
knowledge.
relatable character.
For
The
instance,
struggle should be
I'm not
significant.
entirely familiar with
Create
that
a sense of
cultural
empathy
custom.
or
Could you
understanding
explain
in the
to me?
audience,
Or
and reflect a
I
problem
apologize
that your
if I
audience can
misspoke.
identify with. I'm still learning.
Making the story
People
relevant
universally
to their own
respect
lives.
honesty,
Detail the
genuine
efforts,
humility,
frustrations, and
and a
dilemmas
willingness to
encountered.
learn far more
3.
than they do a facade
The
of
resolution
unattainable perfection.
clearly
or
demonstrate
pretending to know
precisely how the
something you
aforementioned
don't.
challenge was
Exercise
exercise is to build rapport in everyday life, decisively any highly refined skill. This pivotal turning point consistent logically lead to a positive and desirable outcome. The more diligently and consciously you practice building rapport, or newfound intuitively natural, this is where your solution, product, or idea progressively become within your daily interactions. In the protagonist, these exercises are designed to be integrated into your everyday life. The takeaway: try these targeted exercises. Conclude your story by explicitly tying the narrative back to your core message. Mirror and match the solution you're proposing or the
for every new
specific call to
conversation or
action you
interaction
wish
you
your
engage
audience
in.
to undertake.
Consciously
This step
practice
ensures that the
subtly mirroring
emotional
the other
impact
person's
and the
vocal
lessons
tone,
learned from the story
their
are
natural
channeled into a
speaking
clear,
pace,
actual
and their general
directive,
body language,
providing
e.g.,
a bridge from a
posture,
narrative to their
gestures.
own lives.
Pay
For
very
example,
close attention.
if you are diligently
notice how
persuading
these
a
subtle
team to
adjustments
wholeheartedly
perceptibly
adopt an
shift the
entirely
overall
new
energy
and potentially
and
disruptive
dynamic of
strategy,
conversation.
you might
Does it feel
strategically
more
share a
fluid,
compelling story of
more
how
connected?
another,
Does the
similar
other
team
person
initially
seem more at
face
ease?
comparable challenges and
Note the
resistance,
differences.
but ultimately,
Genuine compliments.
through embracing this new
Make a
approach,
deliberate habit
achieve
of offering
truly
sincere,
remarkable
authentic,
and
unexpected
specific
results,
compliments to at
showing
least
the path
3
to their
different
own
people
success
each and every day.
This story acts
Focus
as a
your
powerful
compliments on
precedent and a
genuine
source of
qualities,
inspiration,
notable efforts,
demonstrating the viability and benefits of your proposal,
or positive character
structuring
traits
your
that they
message
might
for
not
maximum
frequently hear
impact
about
to
or
ensure
be
your message
recognized
is
for.
truly persuasive.
The key is
and achieves its
authenticity and
intended effect.
specificity.
It
not
must flow
vague
logically.
flattery.
For
Maintain
instance,
continuous
instead of
engagement
good
with your
job,
audience, and
try,
clearly articulate its
I
core
really admire
purpose
your
and
meticulous
desired
attention
outcome.
to detail on
A
that
highly
report.
effective and
It made a
proven structure
significant
for
difference
crafting
in its
impactful
clarity
messages
and impact.
is the universally
Deep listening
recognized
challenge.
problem agitate solve framework.
Dedicate at least one
This
conversation
framework
each
systematically
day
guides your
for a
audience
minimum of
through
10
a
to
logical
15
and
minutes,
emotional journey,
solely to the
creating a
rigorous
sense of
practice
need,
of active
and then
listening,
leading them directly
during this
to your
dedicated
proposed
time.
solution.
Consciously
as the ideal
avoid
remedy.
interrupting the other person.
One problem.
Resist the urge
Begin
to
by
offer
precisely
immediate advice,
identifying and clearly
solve their
articulating
problems,
the specific pain
or attempt
point,
to steer the
pressing
conversation
challenge, or
in a
unmet
direction
need
that
that your target
aligns with
audience
your
is
own
currently
agenda.
experiencing.
Your sole focus
Be
is
as
to listen
specific,
intently,
vivid, and relatable
absorb
as
what is
possible
being
in your
said,
description,
and
using
respond in
language
ways
that
that resonates with
unequivocally
their lived
demonstrates your
reality,
deep
so that
understanding
your
and
listeners
instinctively
empathetic
feel a
presence.
powerful sense
This
of
will dramatically
recognition and
improve your
think,
comprehension.
Yes, strengthen
That's
your
exactly what I'm
relationships
struggling
and
with.
make the other person
You understand
feel
my
truly
situation.
heard and valued.
This establishes
Building
a
genuine
genuine
rapport
common ground,
profoundly more than
builds
just acquire
empathy,
and learn skill,
and demonstrates your
It is,
deep
in
understanding
essence,
of their world.
a true art
Avoid
form,
generic
a
statements
nuanced
and
instead
instead
connection
paint a
and
clear
understanding
picture
of their current
It is the
undesirable
masterful
ability
state.
to make others
2.
feel profoundly
Agitate.
seen,
Once
genuinely
the problem
valued,
is
and
clearly
deeply
established and
understood,
acknowledged by
a
your
precious
audience,
gift that not only
strategically
significantly
highlight
strengthens
your
your
inherent
inherent
stakes
influence
and potential
but
negative
also profoundly
consequences
enriches a
if this
quality
problem remains
and depth of your
unaddressed.
personal and
What
professional
critical
relationships,
opportunities will they lose?
making them more resilient
How will
and
this issue
rewarding.
adversely affect
As
their
you progressively
overarching
begin to
goals?
apply these
Their
transformative
deeply
techniques,
held values,
you will
their
invariably notice a
long-term
powerful
well-being,
and
or their
palpable shift
aspirations
in
for
your
success and
interactions.
happiness.
Conversations
While it's
will
critically
flow with
important not to
remarkable
overdo it or
naturalness
resort
and
to
ease.
fear-mongering that
Trust
can
will
alienate
deepen
your
with surprising
audience.
speed.
Gently
An
and realistically
unforeseen
help them to
opportunities
genuinely
will
feel the
gracefully
urgency
unfold where you
and
least
emotional
expected
weight
them
of
to
the
appear.
situation,
Precisely
thereby
because you have built that
motivating them to
foundation of
actively
connection.
seek and
In
embrace
the
a
upcoming
solution.
chapter,
This
we will
amplifies
further
the
explore
emotional
precisely
and
how to
practical
harness
need
the
for
profound
change,
trust and
making
genuine
the current
connection
state
you have
uncomfortable
meticulously
enough to
built
warrant
and
action.
leverage it to craft
Describe
truly
frustrations,
irresistible messages,
missed potential,
messages
and
that
compounding
inherently inspire
issues if the
decisive
problem
action.
persists. You will
3.
acquire the invaluable
Solve.
knowledge of how to eloquently
Finally,
speak to both the rational
present your
head
unique
and the
solution
emotional
as the
heart,
unequivocal
skillfully
answer
transforming
and
your
direct
innovative
remedy to their
ideas
previously
into compelling,
agitated problem.
emotionally
Clearly
resonant
demonstrate
stories that
precisely
captivate
how your proposed
engage,
solution
and
directly
ultimately
aligns with their
persuade.
identified needs
Stay
and
tuned.
aspirations.
The very
Offering
best
a
is
pathway
unequivocally
to
yet to
alleviate
come on
their
your
pain
journey
points and
to
achieve
persuasion
desired
mastery.
outcomes.
Chapter
Provide
3.
compelling evidence,
Crafting
concrete
irresistible
examples,
messages, introduction,
verifiable data,
the power
or
of words that
irrefutable
move
proof
people
points
take a
to
moment to
showcase
reflect
the
deeply
tangible
on a
benefits and
specific
positive
instance in your
outcomes
life
they can expect
when
from
someone's
adopting
words
your
genuinely
solution.
moved you to your
For
core.
instance, if
leaving
you
a
are pitching a
lasting
new
impression.
productivity tool to
Perhaps
a
it was a
team,
particularly
you might
stirring,
start by
eloquent
vividly
speech that
describing how
resonated deeply with your
overwhelming and
fundamental
chaotic
values.
it often feels to juggle
Profoundly
an endless
insightful
multitude
story
of
that
tasks and
dramatically
responsibilities,
altered your perspective on a
leading to missed
significant issue,
deadlines and
or even a
increased
heartfelt,
stress.
then
Intimate conversation
you would
that
emphasize
sparked a
the
new
constant missed
realization
opportunity
or
for
inspired a
strategic
change
work.
within you.
The
Whatever
pervasive
the
feeling of
specific
burnout
context or
and
medium,
the sheer
their
inefficiency
message
caused
didn't
by their
merely
current
inform you or
unoptimized
present a
workflow.
series of facts.
Subsequently,
It actively
you would
stirred
elegantly
something profound
showcase
and
how your
visceral
innovative
deep
tool
within you,
streamlines complex
fundamentally
workflows,
shifting your perspective,
automates repetitive
igniting
tasks,
a new passion,
significantly
or
saves
powerfully
valuable
inspiring
time,
you to take
and dramatically
meaningful,
reduces
decisive
mental and
action
emotional energy
that,
expenditure,
in its purest,
leading to a
most
impactful
impactful form,
organized
is
productivity,
the undeniable
increased power
power
and
and
irresistible
renewed
message.
focus.
In
This
this direct
pivotal
progression
chapter,
from problem
problem to
We will
solution,
embark on an in-depth
amplified by
exploration of
agitation,
precisely how meticulously
create a powerful
crafted
persuasive
messages that
art,
not only
delivering your
captivate the
message
intellect
with
and engage
authenticity,
the rational
even the
mind,
most
but
meticulously
also
crafted,
profoundly resonate
brilliantly
with the
structured,
emotions
and
logically
messages that
sound
simultaneously
messages
engage
fall
both the heart
completely
and the
flat
mind if it is delivered in a manner that feels overtly rehearsed, disingenuous, or utterly insincere. Authenticity is a profound quality that allows your words to truly land with impact, resonate deeply with your audience, and create a genuine, unforced connection. People do not merely listen to the literal words you articulate. They possess an innate ability to intuitively pick up on the underlying subtext, the subtle nonverbal cues, your tone, your body language, and precisely how you deliver your message. This holistic perception often overrides the content if the delivery feels inauthentic. Tips for authentic delivery. Speak from the heart. When it is genuinely appropriate, relevant, and feels natural, share personal stories, relevant experiences, or heartfelt insights that connect with your message. Vulnerability, when used judiciously and with purpose, paradoxically builds profound trust and makes you significantly more relatable and human to your audience. It shows courage and allows others to see themselves in your experience. Be conversational. Consciously avoid adopting overly formal, rigid, or robotic language. Instead, strive to speak as you would in a natural, spontaneous, and engaging conversation, even if you are addressing a substantial audience or presenting in a formal setting. This conversational tone creates a sense of intimacy, reduces perceived distance, and makes your message more accessible, approachable, and easier for your audience to process. Avoid jargon where possible. Match your delivery to your message. Ensure that your vocal tone, your overall body language, your facial expressions, and your general energy are perfectly congruent with the emotional content and the gravity of your message. If you are speaking about an exciting, transformative opportunity, allow your inherent enthusiasm, optimism, and passion to shine through visibly and authentically. Conversely, if the topic is serious, solemn, or requires a degree of gravitas and empathy, adopt a tone that genuinely reflects profound importance and sobriety, conveying respect and understanding. This congruence enhances your credibility and ensures your message is received as intended. Overcoming nervousness. Many individuals grapple with feelings of acute nervousness or anxiety when faced with the prospect of delivering important messages, whether to a small group of colleagues or a large public audience. The quintessential key to effectively overcoming these nerves lies in meticulous preparation and cultivating a healthy, balanced perspective. Practice your content repeatedly until you feel truly comfortable and confident with the material, allowing for a natural flow. But crucially, do not strive for an unattainable level of perfection. It is perfectly acceptable to stumble slightly over a word, to pause briefly, or momentarily lose your train of thought, as long as you possess the ability to recover gracefully and seamlessly, demonstrating resilience. Remember, your ultimate goal is not to impress others with flawless, robotic delivery, but rather to genuinely connect with them on a meaningful, human level and convey your message effectively and authentically. Authenticity often embraces minor imperfections and makes you more relatable. Exercises to hone your message crafting skills to truly master the intricate art of crafting irresistible and compelling messages. Consistent and deliberate practice is unequivocally essential. Just like any other skill, it improves with dedicated effort and conscious refinement. Here are a few practical exercises designed to help you begin refining your skills and honing your persuasive communication abilities in various contexts. 1. The Elevator Pitch Challenge. Choose an innovative idea, a compelling product, a beneficial service, or a cause you're genuinely passionate about. Write a concise, impactful 30-second elevator pitch for it, as if you only have a brief moment to capture someone's attention. Focus intently on making it unequivocally clear, powerfully compelling, emotionally resonant, and immediately actionable. Practice delivering this pitch repeatedly, out loud, until it feels entirely natural, fluid, and effortless, as though it were an extension of yourself, rather than a memorized script. Time yourself and refine for brevity, clarity, and maximum impact. 2. Storytelling practice. Reflect deeply and identify a personal story from your own life that vividly illustrates a specific lesson, a valuable principle, a significant challenge you overcame, or a profound transformation you wish to share with others. Utilize the classic hook, struggle, resolution, takeaway structure to meticulously craft it into a compelling and engaging narrative. Pay particular attention to evoking genuine emotion, building suspense, and making the story deeply relatable to your intended audience. Practice telling this story aloud, focusing on your delivery, tone, and pacing to maximize its impact. 3. Feedback loop. Once you have crafted a message or story you're working on, share it with a trusted friend, a supportive colleague, or a mentor, and explicitly request their honest, constructive feedback. Ask specific, open-ended questions such as, what particular parts of the message resonated most strongly with you and why? Or, what aspects could be made clearer, more concise, more compelling, or perhaps even more engaging? Be genuinely open to criticism and perceive it as an invaluable opportunity for refinement and growth rather than as a personal attack. Apply the feedback to iterate and improve your message. Crafting irresistible messages is not inherently about being flashy, overtly clever, or deploying complex linguistic acrobatics that confuse rather than clarify. Instead, it is fundamentally about profoundly understanding your audience's unique needs and desires, directly addressing their inherent pain points and aspirations, and delivering your innovative ideas with an unwavering commitment to clarity, sincerity, and heartfelt passion. When you masterfully combine the psychological principles of attention, emotional resonance, and structural clarity, your words transcend mere communication and become a formidable force for positive influence and lasting change. In the next crucial part of this audiobook, we will build directly upon this robust foundation by meticulously exploring the sophisticated art of negotiation. You will acquire invaluable knowledge of how to adeptly handle objections with grace, skillfully navigate even the toughest and most challenging conversations, and strategically guide others toward mutual agreement, all while consistently maintaining and strengthening the trust and collaborative spirit you have so diligently built. The powerful tools and strategies you will acquire here will undeniably make your overall persuasion toolkit even more potent, versatile, and ultimately more successful across various domains of your life. Let's steadfastly keep moving forward. You are progressively becoming an unstoppable force of influence and a master of communication. Chapter 4. The Art of Negotiation Introduction. Turning conflict into collaboration negotiation is frequently characterized as an intricate, often complex, dance, a delicate and precise balance of strategic give and take, of attentive listening coupled with confident asserting, and of patient endurance intertwined with persuasive communication. It is a dynamic interplay of interests and needs. Yet, for a great many people, the very notion of negotiation feels inherently intimidating, evoking discomfort or apprehension. It is often perceived as akin to stepping onto a gladiatorial battlefield, where the victory of one side inherently dictates the defeat and loss of the other, a zero-sum game. But what if I challenged this conventional perception and told you that negotiation doesn't have to be an adversarial confrontation, a battle of wills leading to a single victor? What if it could, in fact, be a deeply collaborative, constructive, and mutually beneficial process, where both sides emerge in the discussion feeling genuinely satisfied, where existing relationships are strengthened rather than strained, and where mutual trust is meticulously built and reinforced through shared problem-solving? This chapter serves as your definitive blueprint for unequivocally mastering the sophisticated art of negotiation, transforming it from a source of dread into an arena of opportunity. Regardless of whether you are meticulously preparing to ask for a well-deserved raise from your employer, diligently working to resolve a complex interpersonal conflict with a colleague or family member, or confidently closing a significant business deal with a new partner, the profound strategies meticulously detailed within these pages will empower you to navigate even the toughest, most emotionally charged, and high-stakes conversations with an unwavering sense of confidence, composure, and an unparalleled level of effectiveness. You will acquire invaluable knowledge of precisely how to frame your arguments persuasively, how to handle even the most challenging objections with remarkable grace and composure, and how to deftly transform disagreements, which are often perceived as roadblocks, into fertile opportunities for deeper connection, innovative solutions, and mutual understanding. By the time you conclude this transformative chapter, you won't merely be engaging in negotiation. You will be confidently leading the way to mutually beneficial outcomes, becoming a true master of collaborative problem-solving. Understanding the psychology of negotiation, at its fundamental core, negotiation transcends mere numbers, legal contracts, or formal agreements. It is, at its essence, deeply about people. It's about individuals with complex emotions, diverse priorities, inherent fears, often unspoken aspirations, and unique perspectives. To truly become an extraordinarily effective and empathetic negotiator, you must first develop a deep and nuanced understanding of what intrinsically drives human behavior within these highly dynamic and often high-stakes situations. This psychological insight is your most powerful tool. One of the most profoundly powerful concepts in psychology and negotiation is the principle of perceived value. It's a critical insight that defies simple logic. People rarely make decisions based purely on objective, irrefutable reality or purely rational assessment of facts. Instead, they invariably act based on their unique and subjective perception of what holds intrinsic value for them in that specific moment. This profound psychological truth means that your primary objective as a negotiator is not simply present a barrage of facts, an unyielding list of features, or a static take it or leave it offer. Rather, your crucial role is to skillfully shape and influence precisely how the other person perceives the inherent value of what you are offering or proposing. You must frame your offer in terms of their benefits, their needs, and their desired outcomes, not just yours. For example, a car may objectively have certain horsepower, but its perceived value to a buyer might be the feeling of freedom or status it confers. Another critically influential factor deeply embedded within negotiation psychology is loss aversion. Extensive research in behavioral economics consistently demonstrates that human beings are often more powerfully motivated by the prospect of avoiding potential losses than by the equivalent prospect of achieving potential gains. The psychological impact of a loss feels twice as strong as the psychological impact of a gain of equal magnitude. For instance, the visceral fear of losing $100 is often significantly more compelling and drives stronger action than the appealing prospect of gaining an identical $100. Understanding this deeply ingrained human bias can provide you with a powerful strategic advantage. It can help you meticulously frame your proposals in innovative ways that emphatically highlight what the other party stands to lose if they do not agree to your terms, e.g., missed opportunities, continued pain, competitive disadvantage, rather than just focusing on what they stand to gain if they do agree. This subtle shift in framing can profoundly alter their decision-making process, making them more receptive to your proposal as a solution to prevent a loss. Finally, it is paramount to acknowledge that emotions play an absolutely massive, often unpredictable, and frequently decisive role in the ultimate outcomes of any negotiation. While logic, objective facts, and rational arguments are undeniably important and provide a robust framework for discussion, decisions in negotiation are, more often than not, initially made on an emotional basis and subsequently justified with rational explanations. People buy on emotion and justify with logic. Therefore, developing the refined ability to build genuine rapport, consistently demonstrate profound empathy for the other party's feelings and perspectives, and skillfully manage emotions, both your own intrinsic emotional states and the emotional states of the other party, are absolutely essential, indispensable skills for consistently successful negotiation. Ignoring the emotional undercurrents of negotiation is a recipe for misunderstanding, frustration, and eventual failure, as emotions can hijack even the most logical discussions. Preparing for negotiation. The hidden advantage of most adept and truly skilled negotiators universally recognize that success in any negotiation is often either won or irrevocably lost long before the actual conversation even commences. Meticulous and thorough preparation is, without exaggeration, your ultimate secret weapon and your greatest leverage. The more comprehensively and diligently you prepare, the more inherently confident, composed, articulate, and ultimately effective you will demonstrably be at the negotiating table, regardless of the challenges you face. Start by unequivocally clarifying your goals. What precisely do you genuinely want to achieve from this negotiation? What constitutes your ideal, most desirable outcome? Be incredibly specific and, at the same time, realistically assess what is attainable given the circumstances and the other party's likely position. Don't just think more money. Think a 15% salary increase that reflects my new responsibilities, coupled with additional budget for professional development opportunities that align with company growth. Having a clear, specific target empowers your strategy. Simultaneously, it is absolutely vital to clearly identify your BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. This is, in essence, your meticulously pre-planned fallback strategy, your alternative course of action if the negotiation process regrettably does not proceed in your favor, stalls completely, or fails to yield an acceptable agreement that meets your minimum criteria. Knowing your BATNA in precise detail significantly strengthens your negotiating position. It provides you with crucial psychological leverage, reduces your dependence on a single outcome, and prevents you from feeling compelled to accept unfavorable terms purely out of desperation, a perceived lack of other viable options, or a fear of walking away empty-handed. If you know you have other strong offers or alternatives, you can negotiate from a position of strength and confidence. Next, conduct comprehensive and meticulous research on the other party. What are their overarching goals? their most pressing priorities, their deepest pain points or significant challenges, and their likely BATNA. What are their organizational pressures, their individual incentives, and their past negotiating behaviors? The more intimately you understand their unique perspective, their motivations, and their constraints, the better equipped you will be to artfully frame your arguments and proposals in innovative ways that genuinely resonate with their needs, address their specific concerns, and offer solutions that fit their framework. This critical step transcends mere data collection. It is fundamentally about empathetically placing yourself in their position, understanding their context, and astutely anticipating their potential objections or hesitations. Try to understand their why behind their position, their underlying interests, not just their stated demands. Finally, meticulously prepare your value proposition. What tangible benefits, unique skills, invaluable resources, or compelling solutions do you inherently bring to the negotiating table that the other party demonstrably needs, highly values, cannot easily obtain elsewhere, or would significantly benefit from? When articulating your offer, consciously shift your focus from merely listing features or characteristics to eloquently emphasizing profound benefits and direct value they will receive. For example, instead of stating, "This new software boasts advanced analytics capabilities with a SQL backend and customizable dashboards," frame it compellingly as, "This cutting-edge software will empower your team to effortlessly save dozens of hours each week by intelligently automating complex data analysis, thereby freeing up valuable time for strategic initiatives, creative problem-solving, and ultimately increasing your market responsiveness." This directly links your offering to their desired outcomes, bottom-line results, and strategic objectives, making its value immediately apparent. The negotiation process. Strategies for success when the moment arrives to confidently sit down at the negotiating table. Whether in person, virtually, or over the phone, the paramount key to success lies in maintaining an unwavering sense of flexibility, staying intently focused on your overarching objectives, and consciously cultivating a collaborative mindset. This approach transforms negotiation from a confrontational battle into a shared problem-solving endeavor. Here's a detailed guide on precisely how to approach each critical stage of the negotiation process, maximizing your effectiveness and fostering positive outcomes. Step 1. Build rapport and set a positive tone. Begin a negotiation by intentionally creating an environment characterized by trust, mutual respect, and a collaborative spirit. This initial phase is crucial for establishing psychological safety. Greet the other party warmly, extending a genuine expression of gratitude for their valuable time and willingness to engage in this discussion. Seek out areas of common ground or shared interest to gently break the ice and establish an initial personal connection. This could be a brief mention of a shared acquaintance, a comment on a recent industry event, or a casual observation about their office decor. This seemingly simple act of courtesy is far more than mere politeness. It strategically set a positive and productive tone for the entire conversation, making subsequent discussions smoother, more open, and less prone to defensiveness. A brief, light conversation about a shared interest can dramatically reduce tension and signal your willingness to engage on a human level. Step 2. Ask. Don't assume one of the most pervasive and significant mistakes committed in negotiation is making premature assumptions about the other party's desires, underlying motivations, constraints, or ultimate priorities. Instead of guessing, which can lead to missteps, proactively employ open-ended questions to meticulously uncover their true needs, deepest concerns, and overarching priorities. For instance, you might ask, "What aspect is most critically important to you in achieving a successful agreement from this discussion?" Or, "What specific challenges or opportunities are you currently navigating right now that this agreement might impact? And how might our collaboration address them?" Listen actively with intense focus, not just for the explicit words, but for the underlying interests, emotions, and unspoken needs, and diligently take notes to capture key details. The more profoundly you comprehend their unique perspective, their context, and their motivations, the better equipped you will be to precisely tailor your arguments and proposals to effectively address their specific concerns and aspirations, moving beyond superficial demands to core interests. Your ability to ask insightful, probing questions and truly listen is your most powerful information-gathering tool, providing you with invaluable leverage. Step 3. Frame your proposals effectively when it comes time to present your offer or proposal. Consciously focus on meticulously framing it in terms of how it directly solves their identified problems, alleviates their specific pain points, or comprehensively meets their crucial needs, aligning with the information you gathered in Step 2. Use clear, concise language that is easy to understand, avoiding jargon or overly technical terms that might confuse or alienate. Crucially, back up your claims with verifiable evidence, compelling data, credible examples, or relevant case studies that demonstrate success. For instance, if you are negotiating a well-deserved salary increase, you might articulate as follows. Over the past fiscal year, I've proactively taken on several significant additional responsibilities, including successfully managing the new client portfolio, which has directly resulted in a measurable 20% revenue increase for our team. Based on thorough market research for similar roles and my demonstrated impact and consistent contributions to our company's profitability, I genuinely believe that a salary adjustment to specific, well-researched figure would accurately and fairly reflect the substantial value and consistent contributions I am consistently bringing to the company. This frames your request around value delivered, market standard, and the company's benefit, rather than just a personal desire, making it a logical and justified business decision. Step 4. Handle objections with empathy. Objections are an inherently natural, expected, and often valuable component of any negotiation process, providing insights into the other party's concerns. How skillfully and gracefully you respond to them can unequivocally make or break the entire deal. Instead of instinctively becoming defensive, dismissive, or argumentative, acknowledge their concerns with genuine empathy and address them constructively and collaboratively. For example, if the other party states, "Your proposed price is simply too high for our budget," a well-calibrated, empathetic, and collaborative response could be, "I completely understand that budget considerations are always a primary concern for any organization, and I appreciate your transparency. Let's collaboratively explore how we might be able to adjust the scope of the project, the features included, or the payment structure to ensure the solution can effectively work within your existing constraints while still delivering the core value you need." By skillfully reframing objections as invaluable opportunities to collaborate, problem solve together, and find creative alternatives, you definitely keep the conversation moving forward in a productive and cooperative direction, fostering solutions rather than roadblocks or dead ends. Overcoming stalemate in tough situations, it is an undeniable reality that not every single negotiation will unfold smoothly and effortlessly. There will be inevitable instances where you encounter a frustrating stalemate, where progress halts, or where the other party adopts a rigid, unyielding, or explicitly hardline approach, seemingly unwilling to budge. In these particularly challenging and high-pressure situations, maintaining your unwavering composure, remaining strategically focused on your overarching objectives, and thinking clearly and creatively are absolutely crucial for achieving a positive outcome and preventing the negotiation from collapsing. Breaking stalemate. When you find yourself stuck in a frustrating stalemate where both parties seem entrenched in their positions, it is imperative to revisit any previously established shared goals or to actively explore genuinely creative, mutually beneficial compromises that might expand a pie rather than just dividing it. Ask open-ended, exploratory questions designed to uncover new possibilities, such as, what specific elements or conditions would truly make this agreement viable and acceptable for you? Or, are there any other potential options, alternative solutions, or creative pathways that we haven't yet thoroughly considered that might bridge this gap? If the deadlock persists and it feels truly necessary, consider taking a strategic break. Sometimes, stepping away from the immediate intensity of the negotiating table, even for a short period, allows both parties the invaluable opportunity to regroup, clear their minds, consult internally, and approach the subsequent discussion with refreshed perspectives, renewed energy, and potentially innovative ideas that were not apparent before. This break can diffuse tension and allow for a more rational, less emotional return to the discussion. Dealing with difficult negotiators, when confronted with aggressive, overly assertive, overtly manipulative, or uncooperative tactics from the other party, it is absolutely paramount to maintain your unwavering composure and to stand firm and resolute on your core priorities and non-negotiables. Do not mirror their negative behavior. Instead, employ sophisticated psychological techniques to defuse tension and reestablish a productive dynamic. Reframing. Skillfully take their negative, accusatory, or unhelpful statements and subtly reframe them into constructive, problem-solving discussions. For instance, if they belligerently say, "Your proposal is utterly ridiculous and unrealistic," you might respond calmly, "I understand you have strong feelings about this. Could you help me understand what specifically makes it seem impractical or problematic from your perspective, so I can address those points directly?" This shifts the focus from an attack to an invitation for explanation. Silence. Do not feel compelled to immediately fill awkward or uncomfortable pauses in the conversation, especially after they have made a challenging statement or demand. Often, maintaining a strategic silence after they have made a point will gently prompt the other party to feel compelled to speak first, revealing more of their underlying motivations, their true position, or even their insecurities. It creates pressure on them to elaborate. Walking away. If the negotiation unequivocally becomes unproductive, excessively hostile, consistently crosses ethical boundaries, or if the terms being offered fall below your clearly defined BATNA, be willing to make the difficult but necessary decision to gracefully end the conversation or temporarily withdraw. Possessing a strong and clearly defined BATNA provides you with the essential confidence, psychological resilience, and leverage to do so without succumbing to fear or feeling trapped. Knowing your viable alternatives empowers you to protect your interests and avoid a bad deal. Exercises to sharpen your negotiation skills. Negotiation is undeniably a skill, a complex interplay of psychology, strategy, and communication. And like any other skill, it profoundly improves with consistent, deliberate practice and applied effort. Theoretical knowledge is important, but practical application is paramount. Try these targeted exercises to diligently hone your abilities and enhance your effectiveness at the negotiating table in various contexts. 1. Role-playing. Actively practice negotiating various scenarios with a trusted friend, a supportive colleague, or mentor. Prepare different scenarios: a salary negotiation, a disagreement with a service provider, a business deal. Take turns playing the role of the other party, consciously adopting different personality types or difficult negotiating styles. Focus intently on honing your ability to ask incisive, open-ended questions, skillfully handle objections with grace and composure, and persuasively frame your proposals to highlight mutual benefit. Record your sessions if possible for later review and self-critique, paying attention to your tone, body language, and verbal choices. 2. Reverse negotiation. To truly gain a deeper and more empathetic understanding of the other side's perspective and anticipate their moves, intentionally put yourself in their shoes. Spend dedicated time rigorously arguing their position aloud, as if it were your own, even if you fundamentally disagree with it. Articulate their likely goals, constraints, fears, and priorities. This insightful exercise helps you to anticipate their potential arguments, understand their underlying motivations, identify their potential BATNA, and meticulously refine your own strategy to counter their points or proactively incorporate their viewpoints into a more comprehensive, mutually beneficial solution. 3. Debrief and reflect. After every single negotiation, regardless of its outcome, dedicate specific time to thoroughly debrief and reflect on what transpired. Ask yourself critical questions. What aspects of the negotiation went particularly well and why? What specific strategies or tactics did I employ that were effective? What could have been significantly improved or handled differently in my approach or communication? And what did I learn about my own negotiating style, my emotional responses, or the other party's behavior? Use these invaluable insights to inform your future negotiations and to continuously grow as a skilled, adaptable, and empathetic negotiator. This reflective practice is crucial for turning experience into expertise. Negotiation is far more than simply about winning at all costs or dominating the other party. It's about intelligently finding creative and sustainable solutions that genuinely work effectively for everyone involved, fostering long-term relationships rather than short-term gains. By consistently approaching negotiation as a collaborative, problem-solving process rather than competitive battle, you can meticulously build stronger, more resilient relationships, forge lasting and equitable agreements, and ultimately earn widespread respect as a thoughtful, ethical, and exceptionally effective communicator. In the subsequent chapter, we will delve even more deeply into the nuanced art of handling objections and overcoming resistance. You will acquire invaluable knowledge of precisely how to skillfully reframe doubts, compassionately address underlying fears, and masterfully turn an initial no into a willing yes, all without ever sacrificing your unwavering integrity or compromising the precious trust you have so diligently built. You are unequivocally on the path to becoming a true master negotiator. Keep going, your potential is boundless. Chapter 5. Turning Resistance into Agreement Introduction. The hidden opportunity in no, the word no, can often feel like an impenetrable brick wall, a formidable, unyielding obstacle that unequivocally signals failure, the definitive end of any persuasive endeavor and a reason to retreat. It can be disheartening and discouraging. But what if you began to fundamentally alter your perception of resistance, seeing it not as an insurmountable roadblock, but rather as a strategic stepping stone toward deeper understanding, stronger connection, and ultimate agreement? What if every objection, every subtle hesitation, every expressed doubt, and every moment of skepticism wasn't, in fact, a categorical rejection of you or your idea, but rather an implicit invitation to delve profoundly deeper into the other person's perspective, to meticulously build greater trust, and to craft an even more compelling and irresistible argument that truly addresses their underlying concerns? Resistance, when approached and handled with exceptional skill, astute insight, and genuine empathy, is far from being an unwelcome anomaly or an indication of failure. It is, in fact, a natural, almost inevitable, and profoundly necessary component of the persuasion process. It indicates that the other person is engaged, thinking, and has concerns that need to be addressed. This pivotal chapter is entirely dedicated to the meticulous mastery of navigating resistance. You will acquire invaluable knowledge of precisely how to deftly uncover the hidden fears, unspoken concerns, and underlying motivations that frequently drive objections. You will learn to respond with genuine empathy and authoritative competence, and how to masterfully transform moments of initial doubt and skepticism into powerful opportunities for deeper connection, mutual understanding, and ultimate agreement. Remember, resistance is not the definitive end of the conversation. It is, more often than not, precisely where the real and most impactful persuasion truly begins, by engaging with the core issues. Understanding the root of resistance is very rarely about the superficial, surface-level objection that you initially hear or encounter. That stated objection is often merely a symptom or polite deflection. More often than not, it intrinsically stems from deeper, often unarticulated, psychological factors such as pervasive doubts, intrinsic fears, or fundamental unmet needs within the other person. To effectively and comprehensively address resistance and move towards agreement, you must first develop a keen and nuanced understanding of what underlying factors are truly driving it. Without understanding the root, your responses will likely miss the mark. The 3 core causes of resistance. 1. Fear of loss. This is a powerful psychological driver that significantly influences human decision-making. People are fundamentally more motivated by the prospect of avoiding a loss than by the equivalent potential for gaining something new. The psychological impact of a loss feels twice as strong as the psychological impact of a gain of equal magnitude. They fear losing money, precious time, social credibility, their current comfort, their sense of control, or even their existing status. For instance, a potential client might express hesitation or outright reluctance to commit to your service not because they don't see its potential benefits, but because they are subconsciously afraid it won't deliver on its promised results, thereby resulting in a direct waste of their valuable budget, a loss of their investment, and perhaps even a loss of face if they champion the idea internally. This fear often outweighs perceived gain, making them resist. 2. Uncertainty. When individuals lack sufficient clear information, feel overwhelmed by complexity, perceive ambiguity, or possess a deficit of genuine confidence in the decision they are being asked to make, their inherent psychological default mechanism is often to simply say no or I need to think about it. This knee-jerk refusal is, in many cases, a self-protective mechanism, an unconscious attempt to mitigate risk and prevent themselves from making what they perceive as a potentially costly, embarrassing, or wrong mistake. Uncertainty can stem from a lack of clarity about the process involved, doubts about the ultimate outcome, unfamiliarity with you or your proposal, or simply too many unknown variables. People prefer the known, even if it's imperfect, over the unknown. 3. Mismatched values. Sometimes, resistance arises not from a logical flaw in your proposal, nor from a fear of loss, but because your offering idea or a request simply does not adequately align with the other person's deeply held core values, fundamental beliefs, or existing priorities. For example, an individual might respectfully reject a job offer that promises a significantly higher salary and greater career progression, not because they don't desire more income, but because the new role fails to offer the crucial flexibility, the positive work-life balance, or the alignment with social cause that they profoundly value above all else. When values clash, even a logically sound and financially appealing proposal will face significant resistance because it conflicts with their internal compass. Recognizing these deeper, underlying causes of resistance is critically important for effective persuasion. It allows you to move beyond superficial arguments and precisely tailor your responses to genuinely address the real, intrinsic issues at hand, rather than merely attempting to treat the visible symptoms of resistance. This targeted approach is far more effective and respectful. Reframing objections as opportunities when you are initially confronted with resistance, your first, almost instinctive, reaction might be to immediately push harder, to provide an overwhelming deluge of additional explanations, or to aggressively attempt to convince the other person that their perspective is unequivocally mistaken or irrational. However, this confrontational approach very often backfires spectacularly, causing them to psychologically dig in their heels even further, become more entrenched in their opposing viewpoint, and shut down communication. Instead, consciously choose to perceive objections not as roadblocks to be overcome by force, but as invaluable opportunities to meticulously build greater trust, to deepen your understanding of their perspective, and to demonstrate your unwavering commitment to finding a mutually beneficial solution. Step 1. Acknowledge and validate their concerns. The swiftest and most effective method to diffuse immediate resistance and open the door for productive dialogue is to unequivocally show the other person that you have not only genuinely heard their concerns, but that you also profoundly respect their right to hold those concerns, even if you don't agree with them. For instance, if a potential client states, "I'm genuinely not sure if this is truly the right fit for my company right now. It seems too complex." Resist the immediate urge to jump with a battery of counterarguments, technical explanations, or defensive justifications. Instead, respond with genuine, heartfelt empathy. "I completely understand. Making a significant decision like this, especially one involving a new system, can indeed feel quite overwhelming and complex, and it is absolutely paramount that you feel entirely confident and certain before moving forward. Your concern about complexity is valid." By validating their feelings and acknowledging their emotional state without judgment, you subtly lower their psychological defenses and effectively open the door for a much more productive and collaborative conversation, making them feel heard and understood. Step 2. Ask clarifying questions rather than making assumptions or guessing about the underlying reasons for their resistance, which can lead to misdirected responses. Proactively ask open-ended, probing questions designed to uncover the true root cause of their hesitation. These questions invite them to elaborate and reveal their deeper concerns. For example, you might inquire, "Could you please tell me more about what specific aspects are currently holding you back or giving you pause about this proposal?" Or, "What particular information, assurances, or conditions would genuinely make you feel more confident and comfortable about moving forward with this decision?" These types of questions not only provide you with invaluable insights into their perspective, allow you to tailor your subsequent response, but also unequivocally demonstrate that you genuinely care about their concerns and are willing to understand them deeply, fostering trust and a collaborative spirit. This turns the interaction into a shared investigation rather than a debate. Step 3. Reframe the objection once you have gained a clear and comprehensive understanding of their underlying concerns through active listening and clarifying questions. Skillfully reframe the objection in a way that subtly, yet powerfully, highlights the inherent benefits and positive outcomes of your proposal or solution. This involves shifting their perspective from a negative aspect they've focused on to the positive solution your offer provides. For instance, consider the common objection and a reframed response. Objection: "This solution simply feels too expensive for our current budget." Response: "I hear you, and I completely agree that budget considerations are always a primary concern for any investment, and I appreciate your transparency on that. What's truly important to keep in mind here, though, is the significant long-term benefits and the substantial return on investment you'll invariably gain by implementing this." Many of my other clients initially felt the exact same way about the upfront cost, but they consistently found that the profound long-term savings, the increased efficiency, the improved productivity, and the significant revenue growth they achieved far outweighed the initial upfront investment within the first 6 months. Would it be helpful if I meticulously broke down precisely how this investment is designed to pay off handsomely for you over time, illustrating the value beyond the immediate price tag, perhaps showing a cost-benefit analysis or a detailed ROI projection? By skillfully shifting the focus from the immediate cost to the overarching long-term value, the tangible benefits, and the return on investment, you directly address their underlying fear of financial loss or perceived waste while simultaneously reinforcing compelling advantages of your offer, demonstrating that you can solve their problem in a way that benefits them financially in the long run. The art of active listening. Persuasion begins with listening true. Impactful persuasion begins long before you utter a single word of your pitch, before you present your solution, or before you make a request. It commences with a profound art of listening. When individuals genuinely feel heard, deeply understood, and unequivocally acknowledged, they are demonstrably more likely to psychologically lower their defenses, overcome their initial resistance, and open themselves up receptively to your ideas and proposals. Active listening transcends merely hearing the literal words that are being spoken. It is a profound and holistic process of comprehensively understanding the unspoken emotions, the underlying motivations, and the deepest needs that are subtly embedded behind those words, often revealed through tone, body language, and context. The 4 levels of listening. 1. Hearing. This is the most basic, superficial level of listening, simply perceiving the auditory sound of the words being spoken without necessarily processing their deeper meaning or intent. It's an acoustic awareness that registers noise but little else. 2. Understanding. At this level, you begin to comprehend the literal meaning and logical content conveyed by the words. You grasp the explicit message, the facts, and the basic information being communicated. You can repeat back what was said. 3. Empathizing. This is where true connection and influential listening begins. Beyond merely understanding the words, you actively strive to connect with and grasp the underlying emotions, feelings, and perspectives that are fundamentally driving their words and their position. You attempt to feel what they feel, or at least recognize and acknowledge their emotional state. This allows you to connect on a human level. For responding, at this highest level, you reflect back what you have heard, both verbally and non-verbally, in a manner that unequivocally demonstrates that you truly, deeply understand their message and their emotional state. This isn't about giving advice or immediately solving their problem, but about confirming comprehension, validating their experience, and inviting further sharing. For example, if someone says, "I just genuinely don't think this is the right time for me to commit to such a large undertaking right now. I'm already stretched too thin," an empathetic and skillful response might be, "It truly sounds like timing is a significant concern for you right now, and I completely understand that you're feeling a lot of pressure. Can you share a little more about what specific factors or current commitments are making this feel particularly difficult to commit to at the moment, so I can better understand your situation?" This approach not only validates their current feelings and acknowledges their overwhelm, but also gently invites them to share more intricate details, thereby providing you with the invaluable opportunity to address their specific concerns with greater precision and effectiveness, perhaps by suggesting a phased approach or offering more support. Handling common types of resistance. While every individual objection you encounter is, in its essence, unique and context-specific, stemming from personal beliefs and circumstances, there are nevertheless common, recurring patterns of resistance that you are highly likely to experience in various persuasive scenarios. Understanding these patterns allows you to prepare more effective responses. Here's how to skillfully and empathetically handle some of the most frequently encountered types. 1. I don't have time. Root cause. Time objections often mask deeper concerns about their existing priorities, a perceived lack of immediate value in your offer, or a belief that the effort required to engage with your proposal outweighs the immediate benefit. They might genuinely be busy, but often it's a polite way of saying, "I don't see this as a priority right now," or "I don't see the return on my time investment." Response. I completely understand. Time is, without a doubt, one of our most valuable and finite resources, and I deeply respect that you're managing a busy schedule. That's precisely why I meticulously designed the solution program to seamlessly fit into your already packed schedule and to deliver tangible results quickly and efficiently, minimizing your effort. Would it be helpful if I briefly walked you through how we can ensure this is as time efficient and minimally disruptive as possible, focusing on the quickest path to value and how it will free up time in the long run? Frame it as a time saver, not a time consumer, and often make the process as easy as possible for them. 2, it's too expensive. Root cause. Cost objections are almost invariably about the perceived value of your offering relative to its price, rather than just the absolute price itself. They don't see a clear return on their investment, or they believe they can get comparable value for less, or they haven't connected the cost to the benefits. Response. I get it, and I completely agree that budgeting is always a critical consideration for any investment, and transparency around costs is important. What's truly important to keep in mind here, though, is the significant long-term benefits and substantial return on investment you'll invariably gain by implementing this. Many of my other clients initially felt the exact same way about the upfront costs, but they consistently found that the profound long-term savings, the increased efficiency, the improved productivity, and the significant revenue growth they achieved far outweighed the initial upfront investment within the first 6 months. Let's further explore precisely how this investment directly aligns with your overarching financial goals and strategic objectives, and how it can, in fact, pay for itself many times over through increased revenue or reduced costs. Shift the focus to ROI and value, providing concrete examples or projections. 3, I need to think about it. Root cause. This common phrase often indicates underlying uncertainty, a subtle fear of making the wrong decision, a need for more specific information, a desire to consult with others, or simply a polite way of ending the conversation when they're not fully convinced. It's rarely a definitive no, but a request for more processing time or clarity, or a signal that an unaddressed concern exists. Response. Of course, I completely agree. It is absolutely important to take all the time you genuinely need to make a well-informed decision that you feel confident about. To assist you in that process and ensure you have everything you need, what specific questions or outstanding concerns can I address for you right now that would help you feel more confident and comfortable about moving forward, or perhaps help you in your discussions with others? By asking this, you uncover the true obstacle, offer tangible assistance, and maintain control of the next steps rather than just waiting passively. You're inviting them to share their specific doubts or the information they need. Exercises to strengthen your objection handling skills to truly become a master at gracefully overcoming resistance and turning it into agreement, consistent and deliberate practice is, without question, essential. Just like a musician practices scales or an athlete practices drills, repetition and refinement build mastery. Try these targeted exercises to diligently refine your skills and enhance your effectiveness in handling objections. 1. Role-play common objections. Enlist the help of a trusted friend, a supportive colleague, or a mentor, and engage in regular role-playing sessions where they present you with common objections you anticipate encountering in your specific context, e.g., about cost, timing, perceived risk, complexity, or lack of need. Prepare various scenarios. Focus intently on practicing your empathetic listening skills, skillfully reframing their objections, and asking insightful, clarifying questions. Vary the scenarios and intensity of the objections to build your adaptability. 2. Mirror and reflect. Throughout your daily conversations, consciously practice active listening by making a deliberate effort to repeat back, in your own words, what the other person has just communicated, particularly when they express concern or objection. For example, so, if I'm understanding you correctly, your primary concern is about the implementation timeline and the impact on your current team workflow. Is that right? This simple technique not only builds profound rapport by showing you're fully engaged and paying attention, but also unequivocally ensures that you have accurately understood the perspective and underlying emotion before formulating your response. It gives them the chance to correct any misunderstandings and feel truly heard. 3. Reframe challenges. Take a notebook or digital document and write down a list of the most common or challenging objections and forms of resistance you frequently encounter in your professional or personal life. For each item on your list, Brainstorm multiple creative ways to reframe that objection positively, highlighting the underlying opportunity, the hidden benefit, or how your solution directly addresses that specific concern. For example, if the objection is this seems like too much work, you might reframe it as an opportunity to streamline existing processes and develop new, valuable skills that will save you time in the long run. This exercise helps you develop mental agility, a positive mindset toward objections, and a repertoire of effective responses. Handling resistance is not about forcefully pushing your way through objections, winning an argument, or engaging in adversarial tactics that damage relationships. Instead, it is fundamentally about meeting people precisely where they are emotionally and logically, genuinely understanding their specific concerns, and gently guiding them toward a mutually beneficial solution that feels inherently right, fair, and equitable for both sides. When you approach objections with genuine empathy, open curiosity, and quiet confidence, you don't merely overcome immediate resistance. You meticulously build lasting trust and profoundly strengthen the quality and depth of your relationships, laying the groundwork for future influence. In the next part of this audiobook, we will dive deeper into advanced persuasion techniques that strategically leverage the enduring principles of influence and authority. You'll discover how to ethically and powerfully utilize concepts like scarcity, social proof, and reciprocity to make your proposals even more compelling, irresistible, and ultimately more successful. Stay tuned. You are rapidly transforming into a true persuasion master. Chapter 6, Advanced Persuasion Techniques Introduction. Persuasion at its highest level persuasion, when executed at its absolute highest level, is an art form that appears seamless, almost effortless, and remarkably natural. It's as though the decision to agree, to comply with a request, or to embrace a new idea was entirely the other person's own intrinsic idea, a spontaneous realization rather than the result of any overt external influence. This level of persuasion feels authentic and unforced. What truly differentiates the good persuaders, who can occasionally achieve results, from the genuine masters, who consistently influence and inspire, is not merely their honed ability to meticulously craft logical arguments or gracefully handle objections. Rather, it is their profound, intuitive understanding of the subtle, often invisible, psychological forces that consistently influence human behavior and decision-making processes. Advanced persuasion techniques strategically tap into the intricate psychology of influence, leveraging universal principles that are deeply hardwired into the very fabric of how we think, process information, and ultimately make decisions. These sophisticated methods do not, in any ethical framework, manipulate, deceive, or coerce individuals into actions against their will. Instead, they intelligently align your message with the natural cognitive and emotional tendencies of the human mind, thereby creating a pathway of least resistance that naturally leads to agreement and acceptance because the solution feels intrinsically right to the other person. This chapter will take you beyond the foundational basics, equipping you with powerful yet ethical tools that are both profoundly impactful and deeply responsible. From the judicious application of scarcity to the compelling power of authority, from the innate drive of reciprocity to the pervasive influence of social proof, you will acquire the invaluable knowledge of precisely how to apply these powerful principles in ways that consistently build profound trust, actively foster genuine connection, and powerfully inspire positive action, leading to mutual benefit. The power of reciprocity. Give to receive at a fundamental human level. We are instinctively wired to respond to acts of kindness, generosity, and thoughtful gestures with kindness in return. This deeply ingrained human tendency is known as the principle of reciprocity. When another individual does something genuinely beneficial for us, whether it's a favor, a gift, or an act of service, we experience an intrinsic, often subconscious, obligation to return that favor in kind. This feeling of indebtedness can be quite powerful. It stands as one of the oldest, most universal, and arguably most potent rules of social behavior across all cultures, and has been observed in countless historical and anthropological studies. When applied thoughtfully, authentically, and ethically, reciprocity can serve as an extraordinarily powerful tool for effective persuasion, creating a positive cycle of exchange. How reciprocity works in practice. Imagine you're walking into a crucial meeting with a highly important potential client or business partner. Before the formal conversation even begins, or as a natural part of the early interaction, You make a conscious decision to offer them a small but profoundly thoughtful gesture that costs you little but offers significant value to them. This could be something as simple as providing a personalized industry report they might find genuinely valuable and relevant to their business, offering a freshly brewed, high-quality cup of coffee or a cold beverage, or even delivering a sincere, genuine compliment about a recent achievement they've publicly celebrated or a piece of work they completed that you genuinely admire. This seemingly small act, while deceptively simple in its execution, immediately activates a subtle yet potent sense of indebtedness or obligation within their mind. They are now psychologically predisposed to be more receptive to your message, to genuinely consider your subsequent offer with greater openness, and even to agree to your proposal, often without consciously realizing the subtle influence of your initial act of giving. The key is that the gesture feels authentic and unforced, not like a calculated bribe. The absolute key to effectively leveraging reciprocity is unwavering authenticity. The gesture you offer must feel genuinely sincere and originate from a place of true helpfulness, generosity, and good intent, not from a cynical or overtly calculated motive to immediately gain something in return. If people perceive that your giving is solely a transactional ploy designed to extract a favor or is a thinly veiled attempt at manipulation, the powerful psychological effect of reciprocity is instantly lost and may even backfire, leading to distrust and resentment. Therefore, focus diligently on consistently providing real, intrinsic value that genuinely benefits the other person, whether that value manifests as genuinely useful information, a proactive act of service, a sincere offer of support, or simply your complete and undivided attention and a listening ear. This genuine giving builds a foundation of goodwill that can lead to reciprocal actions. Harnessing scarcity, creating a sense of urgency, we, as human beings, possess an inherent and often irrational craving for what we perceive as unattainable, exclusive, or genuinely rare. This deeply ingrained psychological tendency makes us value things more when they're perceived to be in short supply. The potent principle of scarcity directly taps into our primal fear of missing out, compelling us to act swiftly and decisively to secure something desirable before it irrevocably disappears, or before the opportunity is no longer available. This profound psychological mechanism is precisely why tactics such as limited-time offers, exclusive member-only deals, last-chance sales, and promotions highlighting rare opportunities are consistently so remarkably effective in driving immediate action. They immediately create a powerful mental framework that suggests a decision to act must be made now, in the immediate present, or the valuable chance will be irretrievably lost forever, increasing its perceived value. Applying scarcity ethically. To ethically and effectively utilize scarcity in a way that meticulously builds trust rather than merely creating undue pressure or feeling of manipulation, consciously focus on framing it as a genuine opportunity that might slip away if not acted upon, rather than a direct threat if immediate action isn't taken. The scarcity should be real and verifiable, not fabricated. For example, instead of issuing a blunt and somewhat aggressive warning like, "If you don't act immediately, you'll lose this incredible deal forever," adopt a softer, more inviting tone such as, "We currently have only a few remaining spots available for this program this month due to our commitment to small group sizes and personalized attention. And I would genuinely love to secure one for you if this truly feels like the right and opportune fit for your needs and goals." This conveys genuine availability while still implying a limited window, making the offer more desirable due to its exclusivity and limited access. It's also important to understand that the principle of scarcity doesn't exclusively apply to tangible products or services alone. It can be equally effectively applied to your own valuable time, unique expertise, or limited availability. By strategically positioning yourself as an individual whose specialized knowledge, sought-after expertise, or personal availability is genuinely in high demand, you increase your perceived value and desirability. For instance, you might communicate, "I am currently working with a strictly limited number of new clients to ensure that I can consistently provide the highest possible level of personalized support and dedicated attention. My schedule fills up quickly." If this sounds like a solution or opportunity you are truly interested in exploring further, I will be delighted to discuss in more detail during one of my upcoming consultation slots next week. This subtly implies that your time is valuable and in demand, making your offer time or service more appealing. The authority principle, Why expertise matters as a fundamental aspect of human social psychology. We are inherently more likely to trust, believe, and consciously follow the directives or recommendations of individuals whom we perceive as established experts, credible figures, or legitimate authorities. This foundational principle is known as the authority principle, and it is a powerful shortcut for decision-making. It is deeply rooted in our innate human tendency to defer to those who demonstrate superior knowledge, possess verifiable credentials, exhibit a strong track record of credibility, and exude undeniable experience in a given domain. However, it's crucial to understand that true authority is not solely about merely holding impressive titles, displaying a long list of academic credentials, or being in a position of power. It is equally, if not more, about how skillfully and effectively you communicate your inherent expertise in a manner that profoundly resonates with others and earns their respect. Building and demonstrating authority. To effectively establish and convincingly demonstrate your inherent authority, you need to consciously show rather than merely tell. Instead of simply stating, "I am an expert in this particular field," strategically share compelling stories, present verifiable results, or provide genuine testimonials that unequivocally highlight your extensive experience, proven track record, and deep knowledge. For example, you might confidently state, "Over the past 5 years, I've had the privilege of collaborating with over 50 diverse businesses, meticulously optimizing their digital marketing strategies. This focused effort has consistently resulted in an impressive average revenue increase of 30% for these companies, and I can share several case studies illustrating this." This concrete evidence of past success and impact is far more persuasive than a self-declaration of expertise. Your authority is also powerfully reflected in the manner in which you consistently carry yourself and interact with others. Attributes such as quiet confidence, unwavering clarity in communication, the ability to answer complex questions concisely and composed, collected demeanor, even under pressure, all serve as powerful, nonverbal signals that you are an individual whose insights are genuinely worth listening to and whose advice should be seriously considered. Furthermore, never neglect to robustly back up your stated claims with tangible evidence, whether that evidence takes the form of meticulously gathered data, comprehensive case studies, peer-reviewed research findings, or endorsements from highly respected and recognized figures within your industry. Consistency between what you say and what you can prove is vital for establishing enduring and legitimate authority. Social proof. The power of collective influence human beings are, by their very nature, profoundly social creatures, and we very frequently look to the actions, behaviors, and endorsement of others to guide our own decisions, particularly in situations of uncertainty, ambiguity, or when we lack sufficient information to make a choice. This pervasive psychological phenomenon is known as the principle of social proof. When we observe that a significant number of other people are actively engaging in a particular behavior, using a specific product, or endorsing a certain idea, we are instinctively more likely to believe in its value, validity, and adopt that behavior ourselves. Social proof creates a powerful sense of safety, validation, and collective wisdom, subtly reassuring individuals that they are, in fact, making the correct or widely accepted choice. The more people who endorse something, especially those similar to us, the safer it feels to join in. Using social proof effectively. Social proof can manifest in a multitude of compelling forms, including heartfelt testimonials, glowing customer reviews, in-depth case studies illustrating success, powerful endorsements from influential figures, user ratings, and aggregated statistics demonstrating widespread adoption or satisfaction. The fundamental key to effectively leveraging social proof is to ensure that it is relatable and directly relevant to your target audience. For example, if you are diligently persuading a small business owner to adopt a new service, strategically highlight compelling success stories of other local small businesses you have demonstrably helped, showcasing their specific wins and how they overcame similar challenges. If you are working with a specific demographic, showcase examples from people within that same specific group who have benefited, as this increases relatability. Numbers, when used judiciously, can also powerfully amplify social proof. Phrases such as "join the thousands of satisfied customers who have profoundly benefited from our services," or "a remarkable 95% of our clients consistently see measurable results within the first month of implementation, leading to significant ROI," effectively create a compelling and persuasive narrative of widespread trust, proven efficacy, and undeniable success. Combining principles for maximum impact, the true synergistic power of these advanced persuasion techniques lies not in their individual application, but in their profound ability to seamlessly work together in concert, creating a layered, multifaceted, and reinforcing persuasive appeal. Each principle can amplify the effect of the others, leading to a more potent overall influence. For instance, you might strategically employ the authority principle to meticulously establish your inherent credibility and expertise at the outset, then introduce scarcity to generate a powerful sense of urgency and immediate action, and finally, leverage social proof to provide compelling reassurance and validation that others have found success, all within the framework of a single, coherent conversation or presentation. Imagine, for example, that you are confidently presenting an innovative new product to a prospective client who is seeking a competitive edge. You could artfully weave these principles together. This groundbreaking product has been meticulously developed over years of dedicated research and rigorous testing, backed by the insights of leading industry scientists, and is already being widely adopted and successfully utilized by many leading, forward-thinking companies within your specific industry, who are reporting significant efficiency gains. Due to overwhelming demand and our commitment to maintaining exclusivity for our early adopters, we only have a strictly limited supply available for new clients this quarter, so now will be an exceptionally opportune time to secure your order and ensure immediate access to this competitive advantage. By skillfully layering these powerful psychological principles, you construct a comprehensive and extraordinarily persuasive message that simultaneously appeals to multiple cognitive and emotional triggers, dramatically increasing the inherent likelihood of achieving positive agreement and moving the client to act. Exercise is to practice advanced techniques to integrate these advanced persuasion techniques into your repertoire and wield them with mastery. Consistent practice is indispensable. Theoretical understanding is only the first step. Practical application is where true skill develops. Try these targeted exercises to diligently refine your skills and embed these principles into your communication habits. 1. Reciprocity in action. Identify a specific, genuine, and unsolicited way to provide unexpected value to someone before you make any request of them. This could be as simple as proactively sharing a highly relevant article or resource that you know will be genuinely beneficial to them, offering a sincere and meaningful compliment on their recent work, providing a brief, helpful piece of advice that demonstrates your expertise without expectation of immediate return, or offering assistance with a task they are struggling with. Observe their response and how they might reciprocate, even in subtle ways. 2. Crafting scarcity statements. Choose a product, service, or unique opportunity that you are currently offering or planning to offer. Write down several different ways you could ethically and compellingly frame its scarcity. Focus on creating a legitimate sense of urgency and highlighting a unique window of opportunity or exclusivity without resorting to false or overly pushy tactics. For example, instead of "by now," try enrollment for the specialized training closes on Friday to ensure a personalized learning experience for all participants. Or, "we only have 3 consultation slots left for clients seeking to scale their operations this quarter." 3. Building your authority. Brainstorm at least 3 distinct and tangible ways you can effectively demonstrate your genuine expertise, deep knowledge, or authoritative standing within your specific field or industry in your daily interactions. This might involve compiling a brief list of successful case studies to share when appropriate, proactively publishing insightful content, e.g., articles, blog posts, LinkedIn posts that showcase your expertise, or strategically highlighting verifiable achievements and results from your past work during relevant conversations. Think about how you can show your expertise through demonstrable value, not just state it. 4. Collecting social proof. Make a conscious effort to reach out to past satisfied clients, supported colleagues, or individuals you have positively impacted through your work or advice. Politely request testimonials, reviews, or brief endorsements that specifically showcase your positive impact, the value you provided, or the results you helped them achieve. Once collected, actively practice skillfully weaving these pieces of social proof into your everyday conversations and presentations to reinforce your credibility and make your proposals more compelling. For instance, as one of our clients, John Doe, mentioned, "This service saved us X amount of time and Y amount of money." Mastering advanced persuasion techniques is not about deploying clever tricks or engaging in manipulation that leaves others feeling exploited. It is, at its profound core, about intelligently aligning your message with the innate psychological principles that naturally guide human behavior and decision-making, doing so with integrity and respect. When these techniques are consistently used ethically and with unwavering authenticity, they not only significantly enhance your innate ability to persuade, but also systematically deepen trust and strengthen genuine connection with every individual you interact with, leading to more sustainable and positive outcomes. In the next chapter, we will further explore how to meticulously tailor your persuasion approach to different personality types and varied situations, thereby ensuring that your carefully crafted message profoundly resonates, regardless of who you are communicating with. Get ready to elevate your inherent influence to the next extraordinary level. Chapter 7. Tailoring Your Approach to Different Personalities Introduction. The true power of personalized persuasion. The true, multifaceted power of persuasion transcends merely knowing what to articulate. It fundamentally resides in the nuanced understanding of how to articulate it effectively to the precise person in the exact manner that will resonate most profoundly with them. This deep insight into individual differences is paramount. People are, by their very nature, unique and complex beings. They arrive with distinct values, intrinsic motivations, often unarticulated fears, preferred communication styles, and different ways of processing information and making decisions. Recognizing these inherent differences and possessing a remarkable ability to adapt your persuasion strategies to perfectly fit each individual's unique personality is the hallmark that unequivocally separates a good persuader from a truly great one. It's the difference between a generic speech and a tailored conversation. Have you ever observed how some individuals respond exceptionally well to a direct, highly logical, and data-driven approach, valuing facts and figures above all else, while others are significantly more motivated by emotional appeals, inspiring visions, or compelling personal stories that connect on a deeper level? Some people crave granular details, comprehensive facts, and precise measurements, whereas others much prefer to grasp the overarching big-picture vision, the grand strategy, or the ultimate impact, without getting bogged down in specifics. Some individuals are primarily driven by the validating influence of social acceptance, peer consensus, and collective affirmation, while others critically require the backing of strong authority, irrefutable evidence, and a clear demonstration of competence. Your innate ability to swiftly identify these subtle yet significant differences in real time through keen observation and active listening, and to meticulously adjust your persuasive approach accordingly, can often be the decisive factor between achieving a resounding yes and encountering a firm no. This chapter will serve as your essential guide, introducing you to various fundamental personality types and providing you with actionable strategies on precisely how to tailor your persuasion techniques to seamlessly connect with each distinct one. You'll acquire invaluable knowledge of how to expertly read people's verbal and nonverbal cues, how to adapt your communication approach instinctively and effectively on the fly, and how to rapidly build genuine rapport and establish trust with virtually anyone, no matter their inherent communication style, personality traits, or personal preferences. This adaptability is the key to unlocking broader and more consistent influence across diverse human interactions. 7.1. The Analytical Personality. The power of logic and facts. Analytical personalities are typically characterized by their highly logical thinking, their meticulous attention to detail, and their strong reliance on concrete data, verifiable evidence, and rational reasoning. They approach decisions systematically. They thrive on facts, irrefutable evidence, clear, step-by-step reasoning, and a complete understanding of processes and implications. When the objective is to persuade someone who possesses a predominantly analytical mindset, it is unequivocally crucial to demonstrate that your ideas, proposals, or solutions are firmly grounded in robust, sound logic and can be comprehensively supported by irrefutable, concrete evidence and precise data. Their decision-making process is systematic, rational, and often involves careful evaluation of all available information. How to communicate with an analytical person. 1. Be detail-oriented and precise. Analytical individuals deeply appreciate thorough, well-organized explanations. Consciously avoid vague promises, unsubstantiated claims, ambiguous statements, or emotional appeals that lack factual basis. Instead, meticulously provide specific, verifiable data relevant research findings, compelling statistics, precise methodologies, and clear, logical arguments that unequivocally support your core message. They inherently want to understand the intricate mechanics of how things function, precisely what measurable results can be reliably expected, and a comprehensive assessment of all potential risks and mitigating factors, along with the data to support your claims. Present information in a structured, methodical way, perhaps using charts, graphs, or detailed reports, and be prepared to dive deep into specifics. 2. Respect their need for time to process. Analytical personalities typically require a significant amount of time to meticulously process information, to meticulously evaluate all available data, to logically weigh the pros and cons, and to identify potential loopholes or inconsistencies before arriving at a decision. They will not, under any circumstances, make impulsive decisions based solely on gut feelings, emotional appeal, or perceived urgency. Therefore, it is paramount not to rush them or pressure them for an immediate answer. Be patient. Provide them with ample space to ask detailed, probing questions. Patiently allow them to thoroughly digest the information you presented and trust that they will ultimately arrive at their own logical conclusions based on their careful analysis. Offer to provide additional documentation or data for their review. 3. Use logic to frame your proposal, rather than attempting to win them over with passionate emotional appeals, grand visions, or aggressive, quick sales tactics. Focus intently on how your offer meticulously solves their identified problems, systematically mitigates their risks, or consistently improves their current situation in a demonstrably rational, efficient, and measurable way. Use established frameworks, verifiable facts, and precise statistics to meticulously construct your case, presenting your solution as a logical, superior choice. For example, you might state, "Our extensive data analysis has consistently shown that companies who meticulously implement this specific strategy experience a measurable 20% increase in overall operational efficiency over the first 6 months of adoption, directly translating to a 15% reduction in overhead costs." Allow me to present the detailed statistical data and a cost-benefit analysis that unequivocally supports this compelling claim, outlining the methodology and projected ROI. The key to success with analytical individuals is to be meticulously prepared, unequivocally precise, factually accurate, and overwhelmingly evidence-based in all your communications, showing them the logical path to the desired outcome. 7.2 The driver personality. The power of efficiency and results of driver personality is characterized by being intensely goal-oriented, highly decisive, and singularly focused on achieving tangible results with maximum efficiency and speed. They possess a strong desire to know precisely how your proposal will directly help them achieve their overarching objectives quickly, effectively, and with minimal wasted effort or unnecessary complexity. They place a very high value on time, directness, and measurable outcomes, and unequivocally do not want to be burdened or bogged down with unnecessary details, peripheral information, or excessive fluff. Their primary question is always, what's the bottom line? How will this impact my goals? And when can I see results? How to communicate with a driver. 1. Be direct and to the point. Drivers have very little patience for small talk, lengthy preambles, or excessive, unnecessary details that don't directly contribute to the objective. When you are presenting an idea or proposal, get straight to the unequivocal point without delay. Immediately emphasize how your solution precisely aligns with their defined goals and directly provides the concrete, measurable results they are looking for. Use clear, concise, action-oriented language, focusing on outcomes, led with your strongest points and the ultimate benefit. 2. Highlight result and efficiency. Drivers are intrinsically motivated by demonstrable outcomes, clear achievements, and increased efficiency. Therefore, focus relentlessly on precisely how your solution consistently delivers concrete, quantifiable results and significantly enhances overall efficiency or productivity. Present clear, measurable benefits and explicitly show how your proposal will definitively save them valuable time, reduce their effort, optimize their resources, streamline processes, or increase their overall profitability. For example, you might state, "This innovative solution will directly cut your processing time by a remarkable 30% and simultaneously increase your team's overall productivity by 25%, thereby freeing up critical time and resources for more important, high-level strategic tasks that drive revenue." Frame your message around the gains, the speed, and the clear return on investment. 3. Be confident and decisive. Drivers inherently respect confidence, decisiveness, and a clear sense of conviction. They want to know that you're in control, that you possess a clear vision and plan, and that you can unequivocally deliver on what you are confidently promising. Avoid any signs of hesitation, equivocation, or excessive over-explaining that can signal uncertainty. Just present the core facts, the key benefits, and your proposed solution with an undeniable sense of authority and conviction. Provide clear recommendations and be ready to answer direct questions with definitive answers. With drivers, the entire interaction is fundamentally about speed, efficiency, and the delivery of clear, quantifiable results, so focus your communication on these aspects. 7.3 The amiable personality. The power of relationships and reassurance. Amiable personalities are intrinsically people-oriented, characterized by their warm demeanor, nurturing tendencies, and collaborative spirit. They prioritize harmony and strive to maintain positive relationships. They place an extraordinarily high value on harmonious relationships, mutual trust, strong team dynamics, and collective well-being. When the objective is to persuade someone with a predominantly amiable personality, it is absolutely paramount to meticulously establish a strong, genuine rapport and to cultivate an undeniable sense of psychological security, reassurance, and shared purpose. They need to know that your proposal will not only functionally work, but will also genuinely benefit them, their team, and the other people around them, fostering a positive, supportive, and cohesive environment. Their question is often, how will this affect our relationships? Will it create conflict or foster cooperation? How to communicate with an amiable person. 1. Build a personal connection. Amiable personalities respond exceptionally well to authentic, genuine human interactions that prioritize connection over transaction. Take the necessary time to connect with them on a sincere, personal level before you delve deeply into business matters. Inquire about their personal interests, their well-being, or their family, and overtly demonstrate that you genuinely care about them as a holistic person, not merely as a means to an end for your own agenda. This initial personal connection builds a foundation of trust they crave and makes them more receptive to your ideas. Share a bit about yourself to reciprocate the openness. 2. Use positive, supportive, and inclusive language. Consciously focus on emphasizing the positive aspects of your proposal and how it will unequivocally improve their situation, particularly in ways that tangibly benefit others, foster cooperation, enhance team cohesion, or contribute to a more positive overall atmosphere. For example, if you're proposing a new collaborative program to an amiable client, frame it compellingly in terms of how it will empower their team to work more cohesively, improve internal communication and understanding, or strengthen their overall sense of community and shared purpose, leading to greater job satisfaction. Use words like we, together, support, harmony, collaboration, and mutual benefit. 3. Reassure them and mitigate risk. Amiable personalities can often be naturally risk-averse, prioritizing stability, comfort, and avoiding conflict or disruption. Therefore, they may need extra reassurance that your proposal won't significantly disrupt their existing environment, jeopardize their established relationships, create undue conflict, or put others at risk. Provide clear guarantees, share compelling case studies, or present testimonials from other individuals or teams who have successfully and harmoniously implemented similar solutions without negative repercussions, demonstrating the safety and positive social impact. Amiable individuals fundamentally want to feel that your proposal unequivocally aligns with their core values of cooperation and positive relationships, and will consistently lead to positive, harmonious outcomes for everyone involved. They respond best to genuine kindness, unwavering trust, a sense of shared purpose, and clear evidence that their relationships and environment will remain stable or even improve. 7. For the expressive personality. The power of emotion and vision. Expressive personalities are characterized by being charismatic, dynamic, energetic, and inherently driven by big ideas, grand visions, innovative concepts, and a pursuit of exciting possibilities. They tend to focus predominantly on the larger picture, the exciting potential, and the inspirational future, and are often more powerfully motivated by emotional appeals, compelling narratives, and social recognition than by strict logical reasoning or granular data. To effectively persuade an expressive person, you must appeal directly to their emotions, inspire them with a truly compelling and expansive vision of what could be, and explicitly demonstrate how your proposal unequivocally aligns with their personal values, their overarching aspirations, and their ambitious long-term goals, particularly those that involve making a significant impact. They want to know, how will this make us feel? What's the exciting future we can create? How to communicate with an expressive person. 1. Appeal directly to their emotions and passion. Expressives are intrinsically motivated by passion, creativity, innovation, and the power of a compelling vision. When you are making your pitch, consciously emphasize the profound emotional benefits and inspirational outcomes of your proposal. Paint a vivid, immersive picture precisely how it will help them to achieve their larger, often ambitious, goals and bring their boldest dreams to fruition, perhaps revolutionizing an industry or creating a movement. Use descriptive, evocative language that engages their imagination and speaks to their desire for impact and recognition. For example, you might eloquently state, "This innovative solution will finally allow you to unequivocally bring your most audacious vision to life, thereby creating an extraordinary impact that will deeply resonate with and inspire everyone in your community, leaving a lasting legacy of innovation and progress." 2. Create a compelling and inspiring story. Expressives connect deeply and powerfully with narratives that feature heroes, triumphs, and significant transformations. Therefore, skillfully employ narrative techniques, personal anecdotes, success stories, and vivid metaphors to present your solution. Share compelling testimonials or personal experiences that powerfully illustrate the positive, transformative impact your idea or proposal can genuinely have on individuals or a community. The story should be dynamic, engaging, and have a strong emotional arc that captures their imagination and passion, allowing them to visualize the future you are painting. Focus on the human element and the emotional journey. 3. Be enthusiastic and energetic. Expressives are naturally drawn to and thrive on energy, dynamism, and genuine enthusiasm. Your own passion can be contagious. When you are presenting your idea, allow your own excitement and passion to shine through visibly and authentically through your tone, gestures, and facial expressions. Your infectious enthusiasm will be highly contagious and will significantly help them to connect emotionally and viscerally with your compelling vision, making them feel part of something exciting. Don't be afraid to use expressive gestures, vary your vocal tone and pace, and convey a genuine sense of excitement for the possibilities. For expressives, it's not just about the logic or the details. It's profoundly about the emotional connection, the shared excitement for innovation, and the inspiring possibility of making a truly significant and impactful difference in the world, leaving a mark. Adapting your approach in real time while possessing a foundational understanding of these distinct personality types is undeniably invaluable, providing a strong starting point for your interactions. The true, advanced skill of persuasion emerges from your inherent ability to precisely read people in real time, to observe, interpret, and instinctively adjust your approach accordingly. Individuals are inherently dynamic, complex, and multifaceted, and their specific needs, underlying fears, and motivating factors may fluidly change and evolve even throughout the course of a single conversation, depending on the topic or their mood. Effective persuaders are not static. They are agile. How to read cues and adjust. 1. Watch body language. Pay meticulous attention to subtle shifts in a person's body language, as these nonverbal cues can provide significant indicators of their current level of comfort, their degree of engagement, their emotional state, or their underlying resistance. If they lean forward, nod in agreement, maintain consistent eye contact, and have open posture, they're likely receptive, engaged, and interested. Conversely, if they subtly cross their arms, avoid direct eye contact, fidget, turn away, or appear visibly distracted, they may need more reassurance, a different communication approach, a pause to process information, or a change in topic. Learn to interpret these signals without making hasty assumptions, using them as guides for your next move. 2. Listen to their tone of voice and pace. The subtle nuances in someone's tone of voice, their speaking volume, their inflections, and their overall pace of speech can convey a wealth of information about their dominant personality type, their current emotional state, and their level of comfort. A fast-paced, assertive, and direct tone might strongly indicate a driver personality, while a softer, more relational, and measured tone may suggest an amiable personality. Similarly, a high-pitched, rapidly spoken delivery might point to an expressive individual, while a monotone, deliberate pace could indicate an analytical one. Adjust your own vocal qualities to match or subtly lead theirs, creating a sense of synchronicity and comfort. 3. Adjust your language and focus. Be prepared to fluidly shift your communication style, your level of detail, and the focus of your message based on the cues you are receiving. If someone begins to appear visibly overwhelmed or disengaged by an abundance of intricate details and statistics, consciously pivot to a more high-level, vision-oriented approach, emphasizing the big picture benefits and strategic impact. If conversely, they appear profoundly emotionally engaged and receptive to inspiration, dive deeper into the emotional benefits, compelling stories, or personal testimonials that will resonate most powerfully with them. This mastery of real-time adaptability allows you to meticulously build stronger connections, skillfully guide conversations more effectively, and consistently craft a more persuasive and resonant message for each unique individual you encounter, maximizing your chances of success. Persuasion is, by its very nature, not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. A generic approach rarely yields optimal results. By diligently recognizing and flexibly adapting to the diverse array of personality types, communication styles, and emotional states you encounter, you dramatically increase your chances of genuinely connecting with people on a deeper level and skillfully guiding them toward mutually beneficial agreement. As you continue to move forward in your persuasive journey, always remember that persuasion is truly an art, requiring intuition and continuous learning, not a rigid science with fixed formulas. Your profound ability to intuitively adjust your approach, to empathetically read the subtle dynamics of the room, and to meticulously create a personalized and authentic experience for each person will undeniably elevate your inherent influence to unprecedented heights. In the subsequent chapter, we will embark on an in-depth exploration of precisely how to further strengthen your emotional intelligence, thereby enhancing your capacity to understand and deeply connect with people on an even more profound level, ultimately ensuring that all your persuasive efforts are consistently in tune with the genuine needs and motivations of others. Stay with me. You are unequivocally on your way to becoming a true persuasion master. Chapter 8. Emotional Intelligence. The secret to deep, lasting influence. Imagine a common scenario where, despite meticulously crafting your most logical arguments, presenting an abundance of compelling data, and deploying every strategic persuasion technique you have painstakingly learned, you still cannot elicit the desired response from the individual or group you are addressing. The person you are diligently trying to influence remains stubbornly unconvinced, their minds seemingly closed. They might appear distracted, subtly indifferent, outwardly skeptical, or even overtly resistant to your message, regardless of its objective merits. What, in this crucial and frustrating moment, is profoundly missing from your persuasive arsenal? The missing ingredient in this perplexing scenario is not an absence of more facts, a need for a sharper, more incisive pitch, or the lack of flashier, more visually appealing presentation. While these elements are important, they are often insufficient on their own. What is truly missing, and what can fundamentally alter the trajectory of the interaction and unlock deeper influence, is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, universally abbreviated as EQ, represents a profound ability to accurately perceive, deeply understand, skillfully manage, and effectively influence emotions, both your own intrinsic emotional states and the complex emotional states of others. It encompasses the capacity to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions, and to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. It stands as an unequivocally critical component of profound and lasting persuasion because, at a fundamental human level, emotions consistently drive decision-making processes far more powerfully, directly, and often subconsciously than pure, cold logic ever can. Rational arguments can inform, but emotions compel action. No matter how meticulously persuasive your arguments are on paper, how perfectly reasoned your data appears, or how compelling your logical framework may be, if you are unable to genuinely connect emotionally with your audience, if you fail to understand their feelings, fears, and aspirations, they may never be fully convinced, truly motivated, or genuinely compelled to take decisive action. In this pivotal chapter, we are going to embark on an in-depth exploration of precisely why emotional intelligence is the ultimate key to unlocking a level of persuasion that transcends mere words, logical reasoning, and superficial tactics. You will acquire invaluable knowledge of how to meticulously hone your own emotional intelligence to foster deeper, more authentic connections, to build unwavering trust with remarkable speed, and to influence others in a way that consistently feels natural, deeply authentic, ethical, and profoundly effective. With the acquisition and refinement of the right emotional intelligence skills, you possess the innate capacity to unlock an entirely new and more impactful level of influence, enabling you to connect with people on a far more profound, empathetic, and resonant level than you previously thought possible. The 5 components of emotional intelligence is far more than simply feeling your feelings, or merely being nice or agreeable. It is, in fact, a sophisticated, multifaceted skill set that can be rigorously developed, consciously refined, and continuously improved through deliberate practice and self-reflection. The renowned psychologist Daniel Goleman, who is unequivocally recognized as one of the foremost global experts on the subject of emotional intelligence, meticulously identified 5 core, interconnected components that form the fundamental foundation of EQ and are crucial for effective influence. 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is a foundational ability to accurately recognize, deeply understand, and honestly acknowledge your own intrinsic emotions, along with their intricate interplay in how they directly affect your thoughts, your conscious behaviors, and your ultimate decision-making processes. It involves recognizing your own feelings, emotional states, strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals, and understanding how they impact others. When you possess a high degree of self-awareness, you are demonstrably more likely to remain calm, composed, and grounded even in inherently high-stakes or emotionally charged situations. You are also significantly less likely to react impulsively, defensively, or unproductively to external stimuli, as you can identify your triggers. In the crucial context of persuasion, heightened self-awareness empowers you to discern when your own emotions might be inadvertently clouding your judgment, biasing your perceptions, or negatively influencing your approach to others. For instance, are you feeling palpable frustration because a potential client is not responding to your pitch with the immediate enthusiasm you anticipated? Are you perhaps trying to convince someone to comply with your request purely because you are desperate for their approval or validation, rather than because it's the best solution for them? Being acutely aware of these underlying emotions allows you to consciously take a step back, recalibrate your internal state, and proactively adjust your approach before it inadvertently and negatively impacts the conversation, potentially derailing your persuasive efforts and damaging relationships. Example: if you are presenting a significant proposal and you begin to notice that you're becoming increasingly anxious or subtly frustrated because the other person isn't responding with the immediate enthusiasm or agreement you had hoped for, acknowledging that specific emotion, e.g., "I'm feeling a bit anxious about their silence, but I need to understand why," allows you to consciously take a mental step back. This pause enables you to refocus on their perspective, perhaps asking a clarifying question, and approach the situation with more patience, clearer communication, and a more objective mindset, rather than reacting out of your own emotional discomfort or fear of rejection. 2. Self-regulation. Self-regulation represents a profound ability to consciously control, strategically redirect, or effectively manage your own disruptive emotions, impulses, and potentially unproductive reactions. It is fundamentally about maintaining unwavering composure, discipline, and emotional stability, even when a conversation or situation emphatically does not unfold in the precise manner you had anticipated or desired. This involves resisting impulsive actions, thinking before speaking, and controlling negative emotions like anger or frustration. Self-regulation empowers you to remain poised, avoid uncontrolled emotional outbursts, and steadfastly maintain an objective, rational perspective in your decision-making processes, even under pressure. In the dynamic arena of persuasion, self-regulation is especially vital when you inevitably face resistance, pushback, direct challenges, or outright skepticism. People will frequently attempt to challenge your ideas, question your credibility, or provoke a reaction to see how you respond. If you allow yourself to lose your temper, react defensively, become visibly agitated, or appear flustered, you run the severe risk of irrevocably damaging the relationship you built and instantly losing all your hard-earned influence. Instead, by diligently practicing self-regulation, you can consistently respond calmly, thoughtfully, and strategically, keeping the central focus firmly on collaboratively solving the problem at hand rather than allowing yourself to be consumed by or react defensively to the immediate emotion of the moment. This demonstrates maturity and trustworthiness. Example: Let's assume someone directly challenges your proposal by raising significant doubts about the efficacy or reliability of your product, perhaps even using an aggressive tone. Instead of instinctively getting defensive, dismissing their concerns, or engaging in a heated argument fueled by your own frustration, self-regulation allows you to calmly acknowledge their concern. I understand why you might have questions about that specific feature. It's a common initial reaction. And then offer a well-reasoned, data-supported, and respectful response. This response focuses on facts and empathy, not reactive emotion, maintaining a productive dialogue. 3. Motivation. In the context of emotional intelligence, motivation specifically refers to your inherent ability to consistently stay focused, driven, and committed to your overarching goals, even in the palpable face of significant setbacks, daunting obstacles, or unexpected failures. It is an intrinsic drive to achieve, not solely for external rewards or recognition, but primarily for the deep, internal satisfaction of accomplishing something genuinely meaningful, impactful, and aligned with your personal values. When you possess a high degree of intrinsic motivation, you are demonstrably more likely to persist with unwavering determination, creativity, and resilience, even when circumstances are challenging or appear to be working against you. Within the demanding context of persuasion, intrinsic motivation ensures that you do not prematurely give up when faced with initial resistance, prolonged negotiation, or rejection. You will be far more likely to diligently seek and creatively discover innovative solutions when you encounter roadblocks, viewing them as challenges to be overcome. Furthermore, you will remain deeply dedicated to your ultimate goal, often without resorting to manipulative, high-pressure, or unethical tactics, because your motivation is rooted in genuine purpose. People are universally more inclined to trust, respect, and ultimately follow someone who is perceived as genuinely motivated by a sincere desire to help, to serve, and to create mutual benefit, rather than someone who appears to be motivated purely by narrow self-interest or personal gain. This authentic drive is highly persuasive. Example: if you're engaged in a complex negotiation for a significant deal and you encounter a seemingly intractable impasse, your intrinsic motivation to find a mutually beneficial, win-win solution will compel you to remain focused and committed. Instead of simply giving up in frustration or resorting to manipulative tactics to force a resolution, you will stay actively engaged, seek creative compromises, explore new angles, and work persistently through the problem with a spirit of collaboration, demonstrating your commitment to a positive outcome for all parties, even when it's difficult. 4. Empathy. Empathy is a profound ability to genuinely understand and authentically share the feelings, perspectives, and experiences of others. It goes beyond mere sympathy, which is often characterized by feeling pity or sorrow for someone. Instead, empathy deeply taps into and connects with the emotional experience of the person you're interacting with, allowing you to see the world from their viewpoint. When you possess the capacity to truly empathize with someone, you gain an unparalleled ability to deeply understand their underlying fears, their intrinsic desires, their core motivations, and their unspoken needs. This profound understanding allows you to precisely tailor your message, your delivery, and your approach to profoundly resonate with their unique emotional state and psychological needs. In the dynamic realm of persuasion, empathy is an absolute game changer because it uniquely enables you to connect with individuals on an extraordinarily deeper, more human level. It helps you to intuitively read between the lines, to perceive unspoken concerns, to anticipate potential objections, and to navigate even the most sensitive, delicate, or potentially volatile conversations with remarkable care, grace, and effectiveness. Empathetic communication actively helps you prevent misunderstandings, skillfully resolve conflicts before they escalate, and consistently strengthens the bonds of trust and relationship, as people feel truly seen and understood. Example: imagine you are trying to persuade a colleague to undertake a challenging new project that will add to their workload. If you sense through their body language or tone that they're already feeling overwhelmed or stressed by their current workload, you can demonstrate profound empathy for their situation. I completely understand that you've got a lot already on your plate right now, and this project might seem like an additional burden. Your plate is full. If it helps alleviate some of that pressure, we can meticulously break this down into smaller, more manageable steps, and I'll personally commit to supporting you fully through every stage of the process, perhaps by reallocating some of your existing tasks. This validates their feelings and offers tangible support and solutions, making them far more receptive to your request. 5. Social skills. Social skills encompass the broad and multifaceted ability to adeptly manage complex relationships, to effectively build and nurture expansive professional and personal networks, and to skillfully navigate intricate social complexities and group dynamics. People with high social skills are masters of communication and interpersonal influence. Individuals who possess highly developed social skills are uniquely capable of influencing, inspiring, and guiding others with remarkable effectiveness. They excel in various forms of communication, possess a natural talent for conflict resolution, and are adept at fostering genuine collaboration within teams and across organizations. Furthermore, they can instinctively read and interpret subtle social cues, understand group dynamics, and adapt their behavior to build strong rapport and establish immediate trust in diverse social settings. In the context of persuasion, highly refined social skills are absolutely essential for cultivating an environment where others feel inherently comfortable, psychologically safe, and deeply confident in engaging with you. They empower you to precisely adjust your message and your delivery based on the specific individual or group you're interacting with, adapting to their preferences and needs, thereby building a connection that feels unequivocally genuine, supportive, and mutually beneficial. Whether you are attempting to persuade a single individual, a small team, or an entire large group, your social skills fundamentally help you to navigate the conversation with ease, making others feel consistently heard, profoundly understood, valued, and respected. Example: if you're participating in a team meeting and you begin to sense that tension is noticeably building or a conflict is brewing between two members over a disagreement, your well-honed social skills allow you to step in gracefully and mediate the situation effectively. You might gently redirect the conversation, validate both perspectives, reframe the disagreement as a shared problem to solve or find common ground, thereby ensuring that the discussion remains productive, focus on collaboration, and does not escalate into an unproductive confrontation that damages team morale. Additionally, make dedicated time to reflect on your own interactions and persuasive attempts. After a key meeting, a difficult conversation, or a significant pitch, ask yourself critical questions. What went well in that interaction? What specific strategies did I employ that seemed effective? What aspects could I have improved, either in my communication, my listening, or my preparation? What did I learn about the other person or the situation? Regular self-assessment, coupled with a genuine desire for growth, is key to ongoing improvement and continuous mastery. By now, you've learned the essential strategies, techniques, and psychological principles needed to become a true master of persuasion. From understanding the profound role of emotional intelligence and the captivating power of storytelling, to meticulously building unwavering trust and applying key psychological principles in your interactions, you have acquired the foundational tools necessary to influence others and achieve your goals, all while fostering genuine, strong, and lasting relationships built on mutual respect and benefit. But remember, the true power of persuasion comes not from using these techniques to manipulate or coerce others into doing something against their will or best interest. Instead, it springs from the profound ability to deeply understand their needs, to genuinely align your goals with theirs, and to meticulously co-create positive, lasting outcomes that are beneficial and satisfying for everyone involved. This ethical approach ensures your influence is sustainable and deeply respected. Now, it's time to put these principles into action. Whether you're negotiating a critical business deal, inspiring your team to embrace a new vision, resolving a conflict with a loved one, or simply having a casual conversation, use the techniques you've learned to communicate with clarity, confidence, authenticity, and empathy. With consistent practice and unwavering consistency in your application, you'll not only become a persuasion expert, capable of navigating complex human interactions with ease, but you'll also become someone others instinctively trust, deeply respect, and naturally look to for guidance and leadership. The world of persuasion is truly at your fingertips. Take action, keep learning, embrace the journey, and become the master of influence you were always meant to be.